Bobcat Football Today is brought to you by Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce, Assured Partners, Legends American Grill, Jensen Ford, Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, Your Marshalltown Edward Jones, Zach Wall, Capon and Brown, Zeno's of Marshalltown, Wayward Social, Wandering Creek, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Pence Appliance and TV, Wells Fargo Advisors, Marshalltown, Marshalltown Community College, The Embers, Applebee's in Marshalltown, Bruin Manufacturing, Laurel Diesel Services, Ken's Transmission, Raycom of Marshalltown, 5 Star Realty, Brown's Shoe Fit, Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, Central State Bank, Etherington Heating and Cooling, Lily May Chocolates, Marshalltown Company, Calvin Rocket Bar and Grill, Marshalltown Hy-Vee. Bobcat Game Day Live. Here's Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze.
Welcome into Bobcat Game Day Live, right here on KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me. We've got Zach along as well. Zach Tomish with stat updates throughout the evening, as well as our producer, Todd Steinkamp. It's week number 8 of the high school football season, and we are on the road here tonight as the Marshalltown Bobcats square off against the Cedar Rapids Jefferson Jayhawks. Jayhawks are 0-7. The Bobcats looking to get back to 500 tonight, Dylan, at a mark of 3-4. A game that they dominated last year, and they know that that's what they want to do here to get back to 500, which sets up a very pivotal Week 9 matchup at home against Des Moines North.
Yeah, and it seems a bit cliche, but often you'll hear Coach speak, we're not worrying about the other team, we're worrying about ourselves. I think this Week 8 matchup is the epitome of that. The Bobcats are worried about focusing and executing what they want to do more so than worrying about who's on the other side of the field. They know they have to be ready to go tonight, but they also know if they play their best game, they're going to come home with a W.
30-26 was the final score last Friday night. They were down 20-8 in that game against Des Moines Roosevelt at Drake Stadium in downtown Des Moines. You know, one of the big things that I take away from that game was just you're down. They played well in the first half, but the second quarter there was a lot of miscues, and just how well they came out and cleaned that up. Not only did they come out on top, but I thought it was really a resounding win to say, hey, you know what, we're really putting our best foot forward here in the final few games of the season.
Well, I think one thing that we even talked about in the broadcast, right before that second half, it felt like the Rough Riders were going to have to put them away then if they wanted to. They chose not to take timeouts, and the Bobcats, from the word go in that second half, were ready to rock and roll. We saw more energy than we had seen all year from that senior leadership, and I don't think either of us were surprised with the tenacity and the execution they brought in that second half, and I expect to see that carried out throughout tonight.
It'll be key to see how they get off to a hot start. Ottumwa came in here a few weeks ago, and it was 7-6 early on. Cedar Rapids Jefferson got a couple field goals in that. Lillian Ulrich, a female kicker, she made one of the field goals in that, plus they got a 42-yarder. So it was 7-6. I was watching that game, and then all of a sudden Ottumwa finally took over. Yeah. This is a Cedar Rapids team behind Ed Miles, former Iowa Hawkeye football player. That is, I know they're 0-7, but they are showing some signs of improving. They've also had to battle a lot of injuries, which has set them behind the 8 ball.
Do you know who Juan Ponce de Leon is?
Sounds familiar, vaguely?
He was an explorer that always wanted to find the fountain of youth.
Are you going Wilson from Home Improvement on me here, or what's going on?
Yes, a little bit. We've got the fence over here. He was the explorer that was looking. He was the one looking for the fountain of youth. And my guess is he should have been looking at this depth chart. This is a very young Jayhawks team, and when you look at Ed Miles trying to create a culture, that's right where he's going to. Sophomores and juniors and even freshmen just fill up this roster, and it's just about getting reps and taking the beatings now to have successes later. It's not always pretty, but these are experiences that these sophomores and juniors are getting that will reap dividends next year and the year after.
So what you're saying is John Pinois once said you got to beat somebody over the head to get a win?
Sure.
I'm going Tim Allen on you, the analogy.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite good. It's been a minute since I have watched
Home Improvement.
But I took that analogy as far as I could take it, but you took it further, so I appreciate it.
Hey, coming up on our Bobcat Game Day Live, we don't have our Radio Iowa Scouting Report as we're playing on a Thursday night from Cedar Rapids. So Dylan and I are going to talk a little shop when we come back, I guess, as we'll talk about how the Bobcats got to be 3-4 on the season. We'll probably talk a little bit more about other games around the area. Plus, we'll get our Brown Shoe Fit area opponent matchups. Big night across the state of Iowa tomorrow night on a Football Friday night, plus East and West Marshall previews. And we'll also have our Bobcat countdown to kickoff, where we'll have our Cat Connection as David Santa Cruz, our Cat Connection this week, and we'll talk to head coach Adam Goodvin. This is Bobcat Game Day Live from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids, right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
There's a city within a city not far from here. The city includes a beautiful apartment building with indoor parking, a chapel, a movie theater, a swimming pool, exercise and recreational facilities, putting greens, and more. The city isn't really a city, but it is a wonderful place to live. Make friends and live your best life. It's the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The Embers provides security, independence, and companionship. Beautiful grounds outside and lovely studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments inside. See it for yourself. The Embers in Marshalltown.
Back in on Bobcat Game Day Live from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids, right next to Colonel Stadium, home of the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Of course, a single-A affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. Used to be the
Angels.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of good baseball played here in the city of Cedar Rapids. We've got football, though, on the slate here tonight on a football Thursday night. Kickoff at 7:15, and the Marshalltown Bobcats, of course, going to take on Cedar Rapids Jefferson. They stand at a market of 0-7. The Bobcats 3-4. We welcome you back into the Bobcat Game Day Live. And, of course, at this time, we normally have our Radio Iowa Scouting Report, all brought to you by the Iowa Kitchen Company of Marshalltown, designing your kitchen or bath with function and style that is uniquely you. But I thought great opportunity for us to kind of talk a little bit about the season overall. As the Bobcats here now 3-4. You know, the Bobcats started off the regular season week number 1 on the road, traveling to Ames, and a lot of expectations. We had Bobcat Game Day Live. Dalen Houston talked about he wanted to run and throw for 1,000 yards. And in that first game, we really saw him excel and do a really good job. Bobcats took a lead in the third quarter, but ended up falling in that game. I think that really the story of that game was, and it's lingered all year long, is Dalen rolled his ankle and has had some ankle issues throughout the season. Yeah,
I really think there's a couple injuries in that game that were pretty big. Dalen goes out early with that. He has that twisted ankle. Comes in Niall Christensen, senior backup quarterback, also starting slot receiver, who had caught a 44-yard touchdown pass earlier in that game. Drop back, got tackled down, spin down, tore his ACL, out for the year. Dalen ends up coming back, but really that was a big injury. Dalen, we continue to see it almost weekly on a run where maybe he'll pull up gimpy, but Niall, we haven't had him all year, and that's really pointed to the wide receiver depth that we've had to move people all year long. So injuries were definitely a big thing late in that fourth quarter. You and I both saw Bobcats take a lead in that third quarter, but so many guys played both ways in that first game. We've actually seen some depth chart changes.
Yeah.
By the fourth quarter, the Bobcats were gassed, and that's when the Little Cyclones, behind the running game of Jamison Patton, along with the passing game, were able to put away the Bobcats.
Not Jamison Patton.
Not Jamison Patton, Jamison Poe. Jamison Patton's at Ankeny.
Yeah, we did not have Ankeny on the schedule this year. All right, so the Bobcats, of course, in week number 1, fell on the road at Ames by a final score of 33-17. And then next week they come back, much like the year before, back in 2021. They got a big win over Waterloo East, 31-6, the final score from that one. That was a good feel-good game, I guess, for the Bobcats. Get on the winning track again at home early in the season.
Yeah, Waterloo East was outmanned. It's just simply put, they've struggled throughout the year. The Bobcats put some points together early, were able to cruise. Still a little bit of sloppiness. We've talked about this.
Yep.
Really think the Bobcats have cleaned a lot of that up. But, yeah, it was just a get-right game is the way that I would put it. They got right, got back to one-on-one, really set themselves up for really being able to move forward and moving past that Ames game and getting wins under their belt.
Then the Bobcats would be at home again in week number 3. They faced the Newton Cardinals. Newton Cardinals the year before took the Bobcats to the woodshed 42-7. But this year, a little bit different. Bobcats were down at halftime. I think it was 21-0 or so at the break. Bobcats ended up going 3 for 3 on their offensive drives. Got that thing nearly tied up again, but Newton was able to go back down the field. And they on a fourth down play, they did a hook and ladder. They went up 28 to, I think, 14. Bobcats put in a touchdown, and it got to be 28-21, and that would end up being the final score. But it was a game where I feel like we really saw what they can be in the second half and fighting back in games.
I think that first half may have been the worst half of football we've seen all year. I was shocked. I think both of us were pretty shocked by the effort in that first half. But then that second half, I cannot think of a more starkly different approach to that game. They came out, they had just put themselves in too deep of a hole. Newton's a good football team, sits at 6-1, just suffered their first loss. And the Bobcats, and we found that in the first few games of the season, it was good Bobcats, bad Bobcats, because Dalen Houston early last year struggled mightily at the quarterback position, learning the ropes, and then this year he started off incredibly hot. And yet the Bobcats still had the bit in, bit out, and it just ended up with L's in the win-loss column.
Bobcats would fall to 1-2. They have a tough test. It just seems that it doesn't matter. Fort Dodge could go 1-8.
Yep.
And the one game that they have, their closest game, and the game they play the best is against Marshalltown. Bobcats fell in week number 4 on the road, 37-23, facing off against the Fort Dodge Dodgers. That was really Javian Jondal from the go. He ran jet sweeps. He had some big receptions. It was also a game where he was locked in for much of the game on Trayshawn Brooks, and Trayshawn Brooks did not have a big game whatsoever. Fort Dodge was putting up touchdowns. Bobcats were hitting a lot of field goals, but it wasn't adding up to a lot. Yeah,
that's a whole bring field goals to a touchdown fight. It's not going to work. And talking to Bobcat staffers afterwards later that weekend is Javian Jondal is the best athlete, best wide receiver they'll see all year. And that is not because they don't see a lot of good wide receivers. We saw a great wide receiver every week for seemingly quite a bit of the year, and Jondal was just able to do whatever that first half. The defense was not setting the edge. Fort Dodge was just a run to do whatever they want. A couple couple calls, like you said, a couple field goals instead of touchdowns, a couple calls didn't go our way, and the Bobcats just found themselves behind the 8 ball and couldn't battle back. And really talking to some coaches, it was, we got to learn how to get off the bus, because the Bobcats had just struggled with that mightily in the first part of the year.
Yeah. And then the Bobcats would be on the road again for their second consecutive weeks. As the Bobcats were 1-3, they dropped to 1-4 on the road at Valley the following week in a 35-14 loss. But another big thing is it was 14-0 at the break. Bobcats, Rogelio Soren, kind of his coming out party. He got an interception right before halftime to prevent Valley from scoring. Bobcats came out in the second half and played really, really well. They put up a touchdown in the third quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but not able to come up on the winning end. But it was a really good showing for the Marshalltown Bobcats, in which I'm sure a lot of people thought it was going to be a little bit further apart than a 35-14 game.
Well, actually, when I look back at the season, Fort Dodge was closer, lost by a touchdown to Newton, but I actually believe the Valley game was the game out of all of those that we let get away the most. It was, as you said, 14-0 at halftime, but that's really not indicative of that first half. Bobcats had 3 chances in the red zone, came away with what I would say is -7 points. They did not score at all, tried a field goal, it was blocked, returned for a touchdown. I truly believe if that Valley game would have looked different, the Bobcats would be more in a driver's seat of postseason play instead of fingers crossed, Hail Marys being said, position for postseason here at the 5A level.
Bobcats would come back the next week in a game where Lincoln dominated in 2021. On the ground, they rolled up 450 yards. Much different story this year. Bobcats on homecoming get a 42-13 win. The only downside from that game was Jackson Bowie suffered a lower leg injury, out for the rest of the season, but it was really a good homecoming night for the Bobcats.
Yeah, it really was. Lincoln definitely had lost a lot of talent. Same kind of mentality, even though a different coaching staff, Coach Mathis, in his first year at the helm, showing a lot of sportsmanship and character in the Jackson Bowie injury, but also looking at the Bobcats, they just were able to do whatever they wanted to do, and it seemed like they were starting to click. We both said at Valley it felt like outside of execution in the red zone, that Bobcat offense was starting to roll consistently. We saw glimpses, but now we're seeing it consistently, and that was very true in that Des Moines-Lincoln game.
Last week, it was Des Moines Roosevelt hosting Marshalltown, a homecoming for the Rough Riders. And like we mentioned earlier in our open, they were up 20-8 at halftime, but the Bobcats came back and won it 30-26. A lot of grit, and I really thought the key thing that stuck out to me last week was that we've seen the coaching staff make a lot of really good adjustments all season long, but the halftime adjustments were phenomenal. Bobcats switched from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3 defense. The secondary, I thought, showed up really, really well, limiting the big plays that Roosevelt is a team that's what they really rely on, is getting a big home run play.
Yeah, and I thought Bobcats, this was one of the interesting ones. They got off the bus for a drive, and then they got back on the bus. They were up 8-0, looked really good, and then all of a sudden hit a brick wall. And Roosevelt just started rolling in that first half, got down to 20-8. We've mentioned this a little bit earlier. Roosevelt could have got the ball back, didn't choose to do so, and got into that second half. You already mentioned Duncan Furch switched from that 3-4, which their sophomore running back Davison was just gaping holes on the outside. Bobcats were not getting contained. Furch switches to the 4-3. Davison had 45 yards in the first half, only had 2 in the second half, and the Bobcats really were able to start churning up yards on the ground, be it Malachi Holmes from that slot position, be it Tate Ring, Ace Holmes, Dalen Houston with those 4 touchdowns on the ground. They were able to do a lot of different things, and ultimately it came down to special teams.
Yeah.
4 scores each team, and you have Johan Gomez making plays when it matters in the kicking game.
Bobcats win it last week 30-26 and stand at a mark of 3-4. We'll see if the Bobcats can get back to 500 here tonight as we square off at 7:15 between the Jayhawks and your Marshalltown Bobcats. This is Bobcat Game Day Live. That's your different Radio Iowa Scouting Report here tonight from Kingston Stadium. All brought to you by Iowa Kitchen Company of Marshalltown. Design your kitchen or bath with functional and style that's uniquely you. This is Bobcat Game Day Live on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Service and lasting relationships are just a few things we are proud of at Iowa Kitchen Company. We value our customers, and when it comes to designing a new kitchen, bathroom, or office space, we want our customers to get the results they're looking for. We provide quality cabinetry, craftsmanship, and design with endless finishes and styles to choose from. Let Iowa Kitchen Company guide you through your next project. Visit our showroom today at 811 Iowa Avenue West in Marshalltown, or visit our website at iowakitchenco.com.
Why choose Marshalltown Community College for your education?
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
This is Bobcat Game Day Live on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Now time for our West Marshall preview, all presented by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center, open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30 for carryout only. Well, in Class 2A, West Marshall is standing pretty good, 7-0 and ranked number 3.
That's a great team, great program, starting to roll. And we've talked a lot about this. That trip to the Dome, those West Marshall parents better have the Yukons gassed up and pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, that is for sure. And, of course, this season, off to that hot start, they've got Albia here tonight. And the thing that sticks out, Peyton Hart, quarterback, senior, 1,121 yards, 15 touchdowns. 5 interceptions for number 10, Peyton Hart, the quarterback, and then add in that 592 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. It's just accounting for 25 touchdowns in a season is just really impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot on the ground. We talk about Dalen Houston accounting for 16, 25, another 9. That's a huge deal.
Another 3 yards for the sophomore running back, Ben Gonzalez, and he'll be over 1,000 on the season. 5 touchdowns for him here tonight. Albia is 2-5 on the season coming into this one. It'll be a tough test for them, and we know how strong West Marshall can be. They'll be at home here on Friday night. Kickoff is at 7:30 tomorrow night over there at West Marshall and State Center. So anyway, it'll be a tough test for Albia, but West Marshall, if they prove to 8-0, they've got to be a high seed, probably getting. Yeah. I think they get a bye there in 2A to start things off. So.
Yeah, West Marshall is one of the things we've seen a couple weeks. Last week was not the case, but 2 weeks before that started off a little bit slow, struggled a little bit, and really I think tonight if they can just get into gear early tomorrow night. It's Thursday. It's killing us all.
I know, it's throwing everybody off.
Tomorrow night, they drive. If they get started tonight, it may even help them more. But they get started quick tomorrow night. I think that'll be a big win for West Marshall on their way to an undefeated season.
That is our West Marshall preview here tonight, all brought to you by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center. We'll preview East Marshall. We'll see what the Mustangs are up to in week number 7 of the high school, week number 8 of the high school football season here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Pizza and roasted chicken and West Marshall football have long been State Center traditions. And with a year full of changes, it seems like traditions are harder and harder to come by. While where you enjoy it might have changed, Bailey's commitment to delicious pizza and roasted chicken can still be found in every bite. Enjoy the local tradition of Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30 for carry-out only. Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center, proud sponsors of West Marshall football.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
Game Day live from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me. Now time for our East Marshall preview. All brought to you by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned qualified diesel mechanics. Tough test for the East Marshall Mustangs tomorrow night. They've got AP.
Yeah, the 0-7 Mustangs go to, for anybody that's an East Marshall alum or fan, you know Parkersburg is a house of horrors. I just had a two-person high school reunion about an hour and a half ago with a friend over dinner, and we were talking about the video of Aaron Campman, former AP great and All-Pro, knocking two East Marshall defenders out of camera shot because they were that good.
Wow.
And for East Marshall fans, what we're hoping for tonight is Jacob Farrington pulling his best Cam Schultz from 1995. And
tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. We're going to get there. Tomorrow night. It is Thursday. You think it's Friday. But you're hoping Jacob Farrington can pull his best Cam Schultz, leading East Marshall to a huge upset over Appleton Parkersburg. There were a little bit of signs of life for the Mustangs. Last week, sophomore Jacob Farrington threw for almost 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Mustangs actually held a 7-6 lead over South Hardin after the first quarter and went on to score more than 1 touchdown for only the second time this year before losing to the South Hardin Tigers 53-20. Appleton Parkersburg is adept to throw it a little bit and love to run it, just as Thomas-led teams have done for decades. And now the Mustangs are trying to pull the biggest upset in Central Iowa history tomorrow night against the Appleton Parkersburg team.
That is our East Marshall preview, all brought to you by Laurel Diesel Services. We'll take a look at our key area opponent matchups when we come back, all brought to you by Brown Shoe Fit in Marshalltown. This is Bobcat Game Day live from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Nick Overton moved to Laurel, Iowa. He had a vision to have a diesel repair shop that would support his growing family and passion for working on diesel engines. Being part of the East Marshall community means ensuring that farmers, truck drivers, and businesses run smoothly. With a large building and state-of-the-art equipment, Laurel Diesel Services is always up for a challenge. When your farm trucks, semis, or other diesel equipment requires maintenance or the occasional repair, take it to the qualified technicians at Laurel Diesel Services at 105 East Market Street in Laurel.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Named Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
This is the countdown to kickoff on your home for the Cats, KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Welcome in to the countdown to kickoff here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me. Week number 8 of the high school football season. As we've alluded to, a big one to get the Bobcats back to 4-4 here tonight.
Yeah, it's a big one here tonight. We see Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. The big thing for me is, don't overlook this game. Don't allow the weird schedule. Brandon and I don't know what day of the week it is. So hopefully the Bobcats will be ready here on this Thursday night.
Yeah, we hope so too. When we come back, we will take a look at our key area opponent matchups. Plus, we'll get Dylan's scouting report, and we'll have our Cat Connection, David Santa Cruz, here this week, as well as our head coach, Adam Goodvin, for the Marshalltown Bobcats. This is the Countdown to Kickoff on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you to understand today's financial landscape and how to be positioned for the long term. Edward Jones can give you the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or online at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Back in on Countdown to Kickoff right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Shout out to Dale Houston, grandpa of Dale in Houston, listening down in Texas. Just got an email from him. So, Dale, thanks for reaching out and showing your support for Bobcat Athletics and everybody watching. Be sure, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button, as all season long you'll get alerts, and basketball season right around the corner. So we know Dale in Houston going to be another one of the stars of Bobcat basketball. We're looking forward to that as the Bobcats just over a month away from getting basketball season started.
Looking forward to that. I just talked to Ryan Schmidt's family this morning. They said they have family watching from Cleveland, Ohio. We've heard California. We've heard all across the country, so thank you so much for tuning in this year.
Yeah, appreciate it a bunch. All right, let's look at our key area opponent matchups around Central Iowa. A lot of these games coming up tomorrow night. I know Roosevelt, though, is playing tonight, a big game in Class 5A as they have Sioux City East.
Yeah, Sioux City East sitting at 5-2. Roosevelt still a shot at the playoffs. They were not affected by the Marshalltown loss in terms of the RPI standings. And so this is a big Thursday night matchup.
It is interesting because if Roosevelt were to lose, that hurts your RPI a little bit, but it also helps you because you're going to furthermore push ahead. Plus, you get those wins off of Waterloo East. RPI here in the state of Iowa is very interesting. It'll take you a long time to dive in and actually figure out what is going on.
And when you think you got it, there'll be something that happens, and you'll be like, why are the Bobcats 5 spots behind the Rough Riders?
So what other area matchups are you looking for? Of course, our key area matchups, all brought to you by Brown Shoe Fit in Marshalltown.
Well, I think of even smaller schools there as BCLUW really had a good season for them. They had been winless last year. They take on Wapsie Valley tonight, looking to get another win for the Comets.
And, of course, big night in 5A tomorrow night as some of the big games. Number 1, Pleasant Valley, 7-0. They take on Dubuque Senior. They'll move to 8-0 with that game tomorrow night. Dowling Catholic takes on Valley, the classic Dowling Valley game. That'll be interesting to see because we see Valley kind of putting some things together late here, but Dowling is so dominant.
Dowling just decided to destroy last week. I think Dowling's starting to hit on all cylinders. We saw this Valley team. I really thought Marshalltown, in many respects, was much better of a football team, and I really would trust that the Maroons would show their might here tomorrow night.
Southeast Polk and Ankeny Centennial, that'll be a good game. Cedar Falls takes on Bettendorf. That's also a game I'm keeping my eye on because Bettendorf is hanging around right there by Marshalltown, and they're actually ahead of them in the RPI. So if Bettendorf were happen to lose, that would help also prepare the Bobcats up in the RPI. And also the other thing is, too, is that Des Moines North in week number 9 for the Marshalltown Bobcats. That game will also mean a lot so in the RPI. So Bobcats do have an outside hope of getting into the playoffs, but they've got some things that have got to go their way.
Yeah, they first and foremost, they've got to do what they can do. They can beat Jefferson tonight, and they can beat North next week. Then they need a bunch of things to happen that have nothing to do with them. You want North to be good, but not too good. You want Roosevelt to be good, but not too good. You want to make sure Newton wins out. You want to make sure Fort Dodge wins out. You want to make sure Valley wins out. A Valley victory against Dowling would help the Bobcats RPI just in who they played.
And, of course, another ranked matchup, Grundy Center, 7-0 on the season. They are at North Tama tomorrow night, and that one in Class A. And so some of the big matchups around the state of Iowa we'll be keeping our eye on either tonight or tomorrow night. That is our key area opponent matchups, all brought to you by Brown Shoe Fit with a wide variety of top-quality shoes. This is the countdown to kickoff on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Shoe Fit in Marshalltown, you can find the right shoe for every occasion with a wide variety of top-quality brands. Brown Shoe Fit carries the finest in footwear for both men and women with a large selection of athletic, dress, comfort, work boots, and European footwear, carrying multiple sizes and widths to ensure the best fit for you. Their expert, friendly staff is available to give you a personalized experience and find the right shoe for your needs. Stop in today at Brown Shoe Fit, 10 East Main Street in downtown Marshalltown.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Welcome back into the countdown to kickoff here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dills alongside me as we get tonight's scouting report on the Cedar Rapids Jefferson Jayhawks. All brought to you by Bruin Manufacturing in Marshalltown. Dylan.
Yeah, the Cedar Rapids Jefferson, we've already talked a little bit about it. This is a team that is trying to find identity. It is Ed Miles, and if that name rings a bell for Hawkeye fans, part of two incredible linebacking crews, one of those Florida recruits that came up early on in the Ferentz era, and where he played with Greenway, played with Abdul Hodge, and then he was the senior leadership of Pat Anger and A.J. Eads, both great linebackers. So he's trying to bring that championship pedigree here to Cedar Rapids Jefferson, who has not won since the 2019 season. This is a team that is young, and it is taking its lumps early. When you look at it statistically, it's rough right now. They're scoring about 5.5 points a game while giving up 50. And simple math tells you that is not going to be very good for them. But when you look at who is accounting for the statistical positives for Jefferson, it's all sophomores and juniors. You look at behind the center, Jeremiah Pfeiffer is roughly throwing the ball at about 33%, but is thrown for over 400 yards. Coach Goodvin last night on the Coaches Show talked a lot about when you look at the tape, good footwork, good arm angle, but when you're down by 5-6 touchdowns all the time,
he's trying to do too much.
You're going to throw it risky. Yeah. So 13, that accounts for a lot of those 13 picks. When you're handing it off, Ishara Calero leads the running backs, but that's just over 100 yards. They haven't run for 100 yards all year long when you subtract quarterback sacks. And then on the defensive side, LJ Alofe leads that linebacking crew with 31 tackles. This is a young team. They've been beaten up, but you never want to look at a young team late in the season as they have some reps under their belt. You can't come in thinking you're just going to stroll into Cedar Rapids with a win.
Yeah, that is for sure. We'll see how the Bobcats do tonight against the 0-7 Jefferson Jayhawks. That is our area matchup here tonight, our opponent matchup, all brought to you by Bruin Manufacturing in Marshalltown, driven to provide innovative plastic molding solutions. This is the countdown to kickoff right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Manufacturing is a family-owned and operated business founded in Marshalltown, Iowa, and we have a unique approach to plastic injection moldings with our own custom in-house tool shop. Since 1949, Bruin Manufacturing has provided injection molded plastic parts for construction, industrial, agriculture, medical, sports, and recreational purposes. We are an industry-leading manufacturer of precision plastic components. To learn more about Bruin Manufacturing, visit our website at bruinmfg.com. Bruin Manufacturing is a proud sponsor of the Marshalltown Bobcats.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at caponandbrowninc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
Welcome back into the Cat Connection here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Happy to have you along. I'm Brandon Lewis. Our Cat Connection all brought to you by your Marshalltown Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. With David Santa Cruz, he is a starting offensive lineman, starting defensive tackle as well. 8.5 total tackles coming to this one, and had a sack, a fumble recovery on the season, a do-it-all guy. This season, you guys on a couple-game winning streak now. You got a big win last week on the road at Roosevelt. What's this momentum kind of felt like to you guys putting it together here at the end of the season?
Oh, I think it reminds me a lot of last year because we had kind of the same thing after Valley. We really just kind of lit us on fire and it kept us going throughout the whole season. We didn't lose any games after that. We just kept going on a winning streak, and I hope the same thing happens this year.
What's the key to keep the momentum rolling in your mind?
Just good practices, really good practices, a lot of motivation from the other players, just counting on each other, playing for each other, and just doing our best out there, not messing around too much.
It seems like the focus, as you kind of alluded to over the past couple of weeks, has really been on point. And the other thing I will have to say, I've heard a lot with Coach saying a lot of the, either helping players get in positions or, pumping each other up or talking about adjustments at halftime is being led by the players. So how much accountability do you feel is on this team?
I think there's a lot of accountability on this team, especially during halftime or practices, because Coach will be there, he'll tell us what to do. A lot of time he'll motivate us, but then especially on the defense, me and Quanan will really pump up the team to get through our drills really quick. And I think it does make a difference to where in the start of this season we weren't really doing that too much. I think it improved a lot now.
We've seen too some other guys step up. Jackson Bowie obviously injured earlier this year, so who do you rely on? And you guys have a nice mix of defensive linemen that are able to get there. And I saw Lincoln Barker last week making a good name for himself. What have you seen out of him that's been able to translate as a sophomore on the football field?
Oh, I expect a lot of him, especially his junior, senior year. He's done really well for a sophomore. And I think his future is really good if he really keeps being consistent and putting in that work that he's been putting in. He's going to be a really good football player his junior and senior year.
What can you tell younger players about the preparation and putting in the work in the weight room? Because I know that's one place you take a lot of pride in.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just being consistent and don't slack. Some players, they'll go in there, they'll just do it like a routine. You have to keep on pushing. It has to be intense, or you're not really going to grow in there. You have to be have intent, be intense in there, and just really try your best in there too, just like in the football field.
And of course, we're in your senior football season. I know you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but what's next for you in your senior season? I know you wrestle, right?
No.
No, you don't wrestle. Okay.
I might this year though. But after this, I might go to Central to play football, and if not, then I think that might be it. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Patrick Landero's still up there at Central?
I'm not sure. I haven't kept touch with him.
I know he was up there at Central, but anyway, we wish you well the rest of your senior season and enjoy it, all right?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, that's David Santa Cruz with our Cat Connection, all brought to you by your Marshalltown Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
We'll preview tonight's game against the Jefferson Jayhawks coming up at 7:15 as kickoff. We'll talk to head coach Adam Goodvin next. This is the Countdown to Kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar in Marshalltown offers a lively casual dining experience, combining simple, craveable American fare. Soups and salads, classic burgers and steaks, from the Whiskey Burger to the Bourbon Street Steak. Signature items like Fiesta Lime Chicken and Applebee's Riblets are favorites. Applebee's soups are amazing too. Tomato basil, chicken tortilla, and French onion. And oh, the salads. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's, 3101 South Center Street in Marshalltown. Applebee's proudly supports Marshalltown Bobcats student athletics.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Back in on the Countdown to Kickoff right here on KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis, now joined by head coach Adam Goodvin on our Countdown to Kickoff. Our pregame visit with Coach, all brought to you by Exterior Plus Home Remodeling, building relationships one customer at a time. Coach, coming off a 30-26 win on the road at Roosevelt. It was just an impressive game. You're down 20-6 at one point in that game. Or 20-8 at one point in that game. But your team comes out of the gate and holds Roosevelt scoreless in the third quarter, and you put up a couple scores in that. Just the ability for your team to come out of break and be as good as they were. What was the most impressive part of that?
Yeah, I think at halftime, I told you guys last Friday after the game, I really didn't have to say a whole lot. I was on the iPad making adjustments and seeing what we saw from Roosevelt. But, behind me I heard a lot of, a couple seniors getting the rest of our team, pumped up and excited to go that second half, and talking about how this isn't us, this isn't our game type of stuff, and really took things into their own hands, and that was very impressive, and I'm very proud of them, and obviously the kids responded well.
The most points out of any of the quarters this year has been the third quarter for your offense, and you talk about making those halftime adjustments. What's it take to be good at not only saying, okay, we're going to go into halftime, we're going to make adjustments, but you're making adjustments and they're working? What leads to that?
I think communication. Once we identify what adjustments we need to make, then we got to make sure Coach Bohan's with Nick Lucas in the offensive line, and they're identifying what little changes we need to make, and Dalen and I are on the same page, and we go from there. Majority of the time it's not a lack of effort or anything like that. It's just some little things that we're able to fix and really execute to better have success. So.
And some of those adjustments last week, you went from 3-4 to kind of a 4-3 look defensively, and that helped stop the run. I mean, you gave up 81 rushing yards in that game, but a lot of that was in the first half.
Yeah. Obviously, we were struggling to stop the run with our three front, and we went to that forefront in the second half and really stuffed them at the line of scrimmage multiple times. And if you can't stop the run, you're going to really struggle to win football games. And if they were to find success within the run game, with us being down, multiple scores, it was going to make our jobs a lot tougher on the offensive side. So, credit to Coach Furch. I mean, it was a great game plan, and the kids came out and executed.
Braden Weatherly came up with a big stop to seal the deal and get the victory last week. I noticed that Drake Kapayu also came in that game, played at strong safety. He's going to get the start. What did you see out of him to warrant giving him the starting nod?
You know what? He shows up every single day and does everything we ask out of him. He is a senior. Obviously, this is his first year playing since junior high, but he's a gamer. He's a smart kid, understands what we're trying to get out of him, and understands his assignments and his role within our program, and always seems to be in the right spot. He's very, very talented athlete and can come downhill and make tackles. So, Drake's earned it. But again, I've been saying it all year. We've got a lot of confidence in more than just 4 guys back there.
Mm-hmm. He's such a gym rat on the basketball side, and he's such a good defensive player in the game of basketball as well, too. Did you have to coax him to come out?
No. I think a lot of his buddies are out for football, so
Yeah.
we're fortunate he decided to come out, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, that's good. Drake Capayu going to start back there at strong safety tonight for the Bobcats, and of course they're taking on the Jefferson Jayhawks. When we come back in our countdown to kickoff, we'll break down Coach and the Bobcats' opponent here tonight on the road in Cedar Rapids. This is Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
My name's Lake Schultz. I'm the co-owner of Exterior Plus Home Remodeling. At Exterior Plus, we truly strive to build relationships one customer at a time. And that's why we're the Midwest's #1 choice in full home remodels. Located in Marshalltown, Iowa, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, we pride ourselves in providing quality service on time, every time. Give us a call for a free inspection and estimate at 844-261-6111. That's 844-261-6111. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Back inside the countdown to kickoff, our Exterior Plus home remodeling pregame visit with head coach Adam Goodvin. Coach, facing your opponent here tonight, Cedar Rapids Jefferson, the Jayhawks 0-7. They're averaging only 5 points per game on offense, only 85 yards per game. This is a game, though, that last year they put up some points, and it's one of those ones where everything on paper says, yeah, you should win the game, but the last thing you want to do is overlook an opponent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, you look at our schedule, we're not able to just show up ever and win a football game. We got to go out there and execute, play tough football, and be disciplined. And, our message doesn't change. We came back in on Monday and made some adjustments from last Friday, and our preparation started for Jefferson on Monday as well. And the focal point is ourselves. Improving ourselves every single day. And I think we definitely took a step forward here this week prior to with our preparation for this game.
New coaching staff. Ed Miles, the new head coach, a former NFL player. He was in the NFL for about 3 years. They look like they kind of play a little bit of a 4-4. What do you know about the new coaching staff and what they're trying to do?
Just based on watching film, they do have the same record this time of the year as they did a year ago. But, I think they're much improved. It looks like they're doing a lot of good things, and some things are going to start clicking. Their schemes that they're doing is on the right page, and they've got some athletes. We saw that last year, and a couple of those guys are back this year. So there's some weapons over there that we've got to be aware of.
Minimal seniors on the team. There's a lot of starters that are either sophomores or juniors. How hard is it to win at the 5A level, especially playing with the underclassmen?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You've got to be a very special player if you're playing varsity football as a freshman, sophomore, and I don't know what their scenario is over there, but watching film, it's like no one sticks out. You're like, oh, that kid's a freshman or that kid's a sophomore. We don't know, but it is what it is, and it's tough. Like you said, it's tough.
Looks like also a few injuries on that team over there for them, but like you mentioned, 0-7 like they were a year ago. What's your key to victory in a game like this on the road?
We got to play clean, and we got to start fast and stay fast.
Thursday night under the lights. Have fun.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right. That is head coach Adam Goodvin. That's our Exterior Plus home remodeling pregame visit with head coach Adam Goodvin. Building relationships one customer at a time. This is the countdown to kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Welcome back into the countdown to kickoff right here on KFJB and KFJB KFJB-TV. Thanks for streaming tonight on YouTube. Be sure to give a like and a subscribe to our YouTube channel on KFJB-TV, as you can get game alerts and be alerted to games like tonight's or basketball season, as well as baseball and softball and other activities that we cover here on KFJB-TV. All right, let's dive into tonight's starting lineups. First off, for the Jefferson Jayhawks, their offense here tonight, of course, led by Jeremiah Pfeiffer. And last week, 7 of 23 through the air, 55 yards and an interception, as they were down by Waterloo West 42-3 was the final score in that one. Also, we'll keep an eye on a couple of their running backs. A.J. White in this game a year ago, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he did have a huge touchdown run in that game as well. So that's one thing, limiting the ground attack. It's actually Ashera Cololero, who will get the start here tonight. 127 rushing yards, a touchdown on the season. And Devin Hickman, a freshman, getting some carries in the backfield. They do like to spread it out 3 wide on certain instances. We'll keep an eye on big tight end Demetrius Moore, the sophomore, and 4 receptions, 13 yards coming into this one. Let's switch it over and look at the defense for the Jefferson Jayhawks. Dayton Guy, the safety back there in the middle. They play kind of a high safety 4-4 look on that defense, Dylan.
Yeah, and it's looking at trying to keep everything, put 8 men in the box, trying to be able to control the line of scrimmage. As they're younger, a little bit smaller, not as effective, they're trying to control the line of scrimmage by bringing an additional person up to that line.
And Tyler Houston, 6 total tackles at corner with a fumble recovery. Bradley Cable at corner there. He has 10.5 tackles. This is a defense that has given up 350 points on the year. They're averaging giving up 50 points per game, being outscored by 45.
Yeah, and that's what the Bobcats have to do. Zero hope. Zero hope from the beginning to the end. Jam on that gas.
All right, for the Marshalltown Bobcats tonight, of course, coming into this game, looking to get back to 4-4 as they stand at a mark of 3-4. Ace Holmes, the lead back, last week, 84 rushing yards. We have seen him, though, get close to the 100-yard mark. He's gone over that once this season, and it's a thing that the Bobcats hope to do is get that ground game and pound it against Jefferson.
Yeah, and really what they want to do with the ground game is not just turn around and hand it to your single back. They want to run it with the quarterback, Dalen Houston. They want to run it with Ace Holmes. They also are very equipped to run it out of that slot position and the wingback position. So look for jet sweeps, look for fake jet sweeps to hand it off to the running back, look for a lot of different actions to get it to a lot of different hands to be able to effectively run the football for the Bobcats here tonight.
Dalen Houston, a year ago in this game, went 2 of 4 through the air, 51 yards, a touchdown pass, 45 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. I think we'll see probably even better stats from him in this game. But last year it was just all run in that one. Bobcats ran for 278 yards. Be interesting to see how the Bobcats do through the air here tonight, as Trayshawn Brooks, 2 receptions last week. He comes in leading the team with 18 receptions, 259 yards, and a touchdown. I'd love to see a big touchdown catch for Trayshawn Brooks here tonight.
I think we both love to see Trayshawn get the ball a little bit more. If we're going to see that tonight, we're going to see that early if the game goes as if the stats would indicate that it will.
Marshalltown Bobcat offense averaging 25 points per game. All right, on the defensive side of things, Bobcats giving up 25 points per game. It's interesting. The Bobcats have scored 178 points this year. They've also given up 178 points this year. But it starts with the linebackers, that core, Seth Smith, Ace Holmes, Nick Rebick, Drew Loney. Those are the guys who really start things off in the tone setters.
Yeah, they really are. And in this Duncan Furch defense last couple weeks, especially starting at Valley, they've allowed Ace to have a little bit more freedom to just attack the football. And I really think Seth had a really nice game last week. I thought he was in on a lot of plays. But that linebacking core, if they're making tackles, if they're getting to those out routes and things, Bobcats are a really good team. When they miss tackles, that's when the Bobcats struggle.
Quanti, 9.5 total tackles at that defensive tackle spot, and you can see him. Let's see. Oh, look at that right there on KFJB-TV. I'm pointing to the guy who I hope is the player of the game here tonight, because we love that guy, and he loves pizza, and so he needs a free pizza.
He loves pizza. He loves the Bobcats. He loves you. I think he's number one in the Brandon Lewis fan club, just like you are for him. But last week, I thought Mr. Kwani, not just his play on the field, but his energy level was next level. I'd never seen it, and it's exactly what the Bobcats needed, coming back from 20-8 down and winning 30-26.
All right, so that's the starting defense right there on your television screen on KFJB-TV for the Bobcats and the Jefferson Jayhawks here tonight. When we come back, we'll get things going from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. This has been Bobcat Game Day Live, right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
On KFJB and KFJB-TV, the following is a presentation of Bobcat Athletics. 100 years of history has been made here.
Bounce it off left tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Records have been set.
To the 20, pull it away. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Bars have been set.
He passes to Rebick at the 20, cut 10, 5, touchdown, Bobcats.
We want more. Every yard, every touchdown, every win. This has been the home for Bobcat football for 100 years. Here's to another 100 more.
Week number 8 to the high school football season. It's Thursday night underneath the lights here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. From Kingston Stadium, I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me. The Marshalltown Bobcats, a pivotal game to get back to 500 so they can get themselves to a 5-4 mark to open up or end the regular season in week number 9 next week back at home against Des Moines North. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me here tonight. As Dylan, we've talked about it in our warm-up and our pregame show here tonight, that a game that on paper it looks to be all Bobcats, but they do have to come out here and get the job taken care of.
Yeah, I really think so. So the keys to the game are going to be simple. Maybe a broadcasting partner would call them lame. I think you texted me that these were lame, but they're lame because it's just straightforward. It's straightforward football. If we take care of what we can, it's going to be a win. So the number one key to the game is pretty simple. No turnovers. How do you keep a team down? You don't give them short fields. Number 2, no flags. Bobcats have played much cleaner in this second half of the season. First half of the season, so many big plays turned back. Keep it clean on the field. Pick the laundry off the floor. It's like you're back in high school all over again. And number 3 is just no trespassing. Don't allow pressure from this Jefferson defense. Get your blocks, allow Dalen to operate, get it to who he needs to. If we do those 3 things, Bobcats are going to be 4-4 and ready next Friday to down the Polar Bears to go 5-4.
All right, that's Dylan's keys to the game here tonight at Kingston Stadium in Des Moines. A very chilly night, 43 degrees right now. We'll get all the way down to about 33 overnight tonight. The fake coin toss, they've just put 10 minutes up on the scoreboard, and so the teams just went off to the locker room. So, Dylan, I don't know if you brought any of your material here tonight. Maybe we could have a pregame sermon.
I've got a tight 10 in case the Tonight Show calls.
All right,
or any church. I've got 10, whatever you want.
A tight 7 here. Go.
Tight 7. I don't got the tight 7. All right, so here it is, tight 7. I've got a shout-out to Zach Estat here.
Okay.
So what we know about Zach, he's tall.
He should put the headset on right now.
He's tall. He's bearded. I like to call him Swedish Jesus.
He's single.
He is single and ready to mingle, I believe. He's also an Astros fan.
Yeah.
For those that you know, I'm a big Mariners fan. So Zach and I have a bet. So far, not looking good. Mariners blew another one here tonight, losing 4-2. But Zach, as an Astros fan, I'm not going to let your mic be live. I'm just going to offer you. No, Todd's going to get you. As an Astros fan, how do you feel up 2-0?
I mean, it's right where they should be, you know? It's
Wow, really truthfully insightful.
Yeah, you got us. You got us in.
Hey, Marty, that broadcasting school really paid off.
Yeah. Well, it's right where they should be. They're the 1 seed. They won 106 games this year. The Mariners are the wild card team, so it makes sense why they're up 2-0. Both games are at home. Got to win the games at home if you want to make it to the World Series.
All right, we are broadcasting Bobcat football here tonight, not MLB Roundtable.
Hey, it's playoff baseball. Mariners haven't been there since 2001. I was a freshman in college.
All right, wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up. I had 7 minutes.
Now they just started rolling the clock, so we've got 9.5 minutes. We were very unprepared for this.
Well, you're a Dodgers fan who won 111 games. I'm new to this playoff baseball.
14-12 was the final score from the JV game earlier tonight, and tough test for them. Cedar Rapids Jefferson ended up taking down the Marshalltown Bobcats in the earlier game. The marching band just coming on the field here tonight to get things going from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. But anyway, I know we already looked at your keys to the game here tonight, Zach. Do you have any keys to the victory here tonight for the Bobcats?
You know, I think I've said this behind the scenes a few weeks in a row now. I really want to see Dalen take over the game, and I think this is the game where he can do it both on the ground with his legs and through the air. So let's see if they can strike first, strike quick, and see what he can do to make the magic happen.
What would be the magic, Zach?
Well, let's see if he can go 100 yards in the air, 100 yards on the ground tonight.
All right. I like it. Put yourself out there, Zach.
That's right.
Let's see. He had 4 touchdowns last week. That was great.
That is,
So I don't know if he can match that, but it would be great to get 4 touchdowns again. But I think the yardage is what I'm looking for. Let's see if he can really chew it up.
We'll be taking a look at Central State Bank scoreboard updates throughout the night. We're going to keep our eye on Sioux City East and Des Moines Roosevelt, which is another Thursday night game around the state of Iowa here tonight, as we will talk about that one coming up throughout the night. Thanks to Jeff Brooks, our producer back at the KFJB studios, for keeping us up to date all season long.
Yeah, Brooks is always number one in our books. Brooks, you're doing a great job back at the studios. You truly are the eye candy of the Bobcat broadcast.
Hey, how about it? Robert Christensen, grandpa of James Christensen, reaching out to us. He said, we would like to thank your station for the great coverage of the Bobcats. We're 90 years old, and this really saved us a long walk in and out of the bleachers. Much appreciated, the Christensens. P.S. Our great-grandson, Niall, has an injury and isn't playing, and maybe if he was, we'd be 6-0.
I'll take it. I said we 7-0. I love it. But we talked about that early in the pregame. He was a big loss this year.
He definitely was, and the Bobcats, unfortunately, without him for the rest of the season. I will talk about something that we will alert you to more as we go throughout the night. But I've been in radio for 17 years, and this has been a passion of mine. As we like Coach Christensen.
We're in the highway.
We are. We're in the highway of the Bobcats coaching staff over to our left. Anyway, I'll get back to it. I've been in radio for 17 years now.
Yep.
And grew up with greats like Vince Scully and some of the other ones, Harry Callis, another one that comes to mind, some of my favorite broadcasters. And so really, I knew that in my career, I was not going to be a college player. And so I knew that I wanted to always – I grew up doing fake play-by-play on my mom's recorder and loved doing play-by-play. And it's turned into a huge passion of mine.
Yep.
And I feel blessed to be able to be doing what I love here 17 years later. And I think we should take a quick time out. We'll listen into the national anthem here, and we'll continue on that next. All right. Good job by Cedar Rapids Jefferson band. Of course, we're not showing you that footage in my long, I'll make it a more abbreviated story here. Just Vince Scully would have never let that happen to him.
No.
Right there. He knew the band would have never. He always knew when to tell the right story at the right time, and was never cut off by band. That's the difference between him and I. Anyway, my point being is that I've worked with a lot of great people in the radio industry. I've also worked with a lot of really good school administrators around the state of Iowa. I look at a guy like Andy Umpton. He's now with the Iowa High School Athletic Association, but a tremendous AD over at Ankeny, and he spent time at Cedar Rapids Xavier as well as up in Esterville. He was a very good football coach. But I look at people like that who've been instrumental. I feel lucky that here in Marshalltown, we're in Cedar Rapids tonight, but Marshalltown School District, good administrators who I feel that support what we're trying to do here at KFJB-TV. Now, tonight you will not see video of this game, as we are not allowed to provide video coverage due to, decisions made by Jefferson School District. If this is new to you, this is an issue that we are seeing in our field that is cropping up more and more out in Pennsylvania. I know they are basically being X'd out of games. Local radio broadcasters, local video producers like us. We don't have $1 million budget. We can't afford $1 million cameras, but we have nice equipment. We have a staff that really cares about doing a superb job, and we love what we do at the end of the day. We do not get rich off of anything that we do, and we give back a lot to our community. It's time that school districts around the state of Iowa accept the same responsibility and give back to their local radio stations that are doing things like this to be able to provide top-notch coverage. And that's what we take pride in doing. And if you can't get behind that, then I guess you turn off KFJB-TV right now, because this is an issue that is very near and dear to my heart, and it's something that's got to be – the curve needs to be stopped. Where it started was 2020. People couldn't go to games, and now the video has popped up. And I'm all supportive of it. I love it. I think it adds a huge value to what we do and what we do in the job that we provide. But school districts like Cedar Rapids Jefferson have decided to take a stance on this to not allow us, but give special preferential treatment to others. And we just want a fair fight.
Yep.
We want a fair seat at the table to be able to deliver games. We don't think that anybody else should be given special exceptions. And this is what we're starting to see with the NFHS, who is limiting exclusive contracts and cutting out local radio stations who have been covering teams for 100 years, just like us here at KFJB-TV and KFJB Radio. So I encourage you to take a little bit of your time out and email out to Cedar Rapids Jefferson. We want it to be cordial, but we want you to also help us put the word out there, because we need more than just a few people in the fight to make sure that stations like us continue to be able to cover. We think that there's a tremendous value in what we do. We help school districts get out news with a bond or, huge issues that might be considered, to the public that need to be covered. We do that. We provide school cancellations and delays. Anytime there's anything that needs to be put out there, we are there to support our community.
Yeah.
And we also do an excellent job of communicating sports and coverage to athletes, just like Bobcat Live. We know that parents appreciate grandparents, like we've already mentioned a few emails. Yeah. And they support what we're doing, because there's an opportunity for a lot of people who are maybe not able to go to the games. And the last thing I'll say is Cedar Rapids Jefferson, maybe their excuse is fans, maybe not coming to the game. Well, I'll go on and say it. An 0-7 team is not going to get you a lot of people to the game. Plus, an hour-plus trip on a Thursday night is also not great. So we really don't agree with the decision based on travel. It's hard for a lot of people on a Thursday night. A lot of families have things going on, and so that also doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because Ottumwa also not able to do it, and they had over an hour trip up here, and so it's really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in that aspect, if you get where I'm coming from, Dylan.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add that this broadcast is about football, but really it's about Marshalltown. We talk about it a lot, about this is community pride. Tonight, Iowa Alliance Conference cross-country meet. We had Coach Pedig and Anthony Kopsa on last night, promoting and elevating that team. This is what we do.
Giving an extra
elevate,
voice to these teams that are underserved.
Swimming and diving, we do all of that, and really it's to build confidence and it's to build a community and unity spirit amongst Bobcat Nation. That's really our goal here, and anything that takes away from that really takes away from Marshalltown as a community and the kids that we're hoping stick around and elevate Marshalltown in the future.
Last thing I will share, I was talking to head coach Adam Goodvin a little bit about tonight, and his main comment was, and I'm not saying this from a self-fulfilling aspect, I say it because of people like Jim Bowie who have reached out to us and said, you treat our kids like NFL players, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to highlight. Okay, this is, like I said, this is not something we're doing to get rich off of. I probably find a million other things to make more money, but I do it because I love it and I have a passion for it, and I love being able to highlight the great things that your student-athletes are doing out there on the field. So anyway, not an issue that's going to go away anytime soon, but we know that what you guys can do out there in Bobcat Nation is help support us in the job that we are doing. So anyway, enough about that for the time being, because we're about ready to get going here tonight.
Yeah, we're here for the fun stuff now.
All right, 3-4 on the season are the Marshalltown Bobcats. Jefferson Jayhawks 0-7. Our kickoff here tonight, of course, all brought to you all evening by 5-Star Real Estate Group in Marshalltown, your home team advantage. Marshalltown Bobcats will receive. Trayshawn Brooks is back to receive for the Marshalltown Bobcats here tonight. Jefferson Jayhawks will get lined up to kick off. Burton Gasubizo will kick off. Gasubizo will kick it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Trayshawn Brooks, actually that's Malachi Holmes, will have the return. He's up to the 20 outside the numbers and pushed out of bounds shy of the 25-yard line. So that's where the Marshalltown Bobcats will start their opening drive of the game. 11:52 on the opening quarter of play scoreboard. As here tonight, the Bobcats will move left to right in this opening quarter of play. As Dalen Houston, quarterback in his junior season for the Marshalltown Bobcats, 69 of 113, 786 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 501 rushing yards with 12 touchdowns on the season. Bobcats will break the huddle in their all-white tops and bottoms. White helmets, Bobcat logo on the top. Jefferson Jayhawks in their all powder blues. Kind of that North Carolina Tar Heel look for him. Dalen Houston with a 3 wide receiver set. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Hand off to Ace Holmes. He'll go off the left tackle. Jukes out of a tackle and now an ankle tackle. He'll be drugged down over the 30 at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Ace Holmes was able to get around that corner as the Jayhawks kind of came up with 8 in the block. Showed pressure from 3 different linebackers, was able to sneak out to the side, pick up 6, with Dayton Guy, the sophomore safety, picking up the tackle.
I just got a late update on a prediction for the game here tonight.
What?
Ryan Isgrig, Cats by a million here tonight. So last time Alan Mann said that, it was successful. And right here on this play, the Bobcats are successful on 2nd down and 4. Dalen Houston going to scramble out far left side of the field. And he's going to get out of bounds at the 49-yard line and pick up a huge first down, over a 15-yard gain on the ground for Dalen Houston.
He's almost a fifth of the way to that century mark that Zakastat was talking about in the pregame. He's looking like Nostradamus over here.
Nice run for Dalen Houston there on 2nd down to get himself a first down. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 49-yard line on their own side of the field. Ball on the far side hash. Bobcats go left to right. Dalen looks to pass for the first time here tonight. He's going to sail it over the head of Nick Rebick on the near side as the ball bounces into the Jefferson Jayhawk bench. As the referees will bring it back to the middle of the field, it sets up 2nd down and 10.
I would love to see on something like that. We've gone out to the flat. Dalen can sometimes overthrow as he comes more underneath on his arm angle. But you'd almost love to see, because every team watching the Bobcats know it's that 5-yard out right away, to see if you do a double move off of the early play to get a wide open down the side of the field.
So Dalen Houston already with an 18-yard run here on this drive. It's 2nd down and 10 with 11:01 to go in the opening quarter play. He'll run it off a right tackle, slips through a tackle outside the hash marks, and finally brought down in Jefferson Jayhawk territory at the 35-yard line. Nice run right there by Dalen Houston of 16 yards. He's gashed the Jayhawks early.
Ace Holmes kicked out Eli Zabo, and then Dalen got skinny, did a little bit of a side cut, and went right up the hash marks, was able to pick up 12, and the Bobcats keep marching down the field.
Bobcats starting at their own 25, trying to go 75 yards down the field on their opening drive. Ball now on the near side hash. Still going left to right. Trayshawn Brooks, bottom side of the set. 2 wide receivers on the top side. Dalen Houston will go to the air. Trayshawn Brooks, the intended target, but throw behind him incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line in Jefferson Jayhawk territory. That one, Dalen just a little bit behind Trayshawn Brooks. He had to try to reach back and incomplete.
Yeah, it was low and behind, and it looks like Coach Goodvin is looking to mix it up a little bit more tonight, and Trayshawn would have been able to run for a while if that was put right on the 8.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers set. Nick Rebick and the wingback spot on the near side. Ace Holmes slips off a tackle, cuts it back at the hash marks, breaks another tackle at the 10, down to the 5, and inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Trayshawn Brooks with a huge run for the Bobcats of nearly 25 yards. How about that run right there?
Yeah, put up 32 actually for Ace Holmes, and those 32 yards were driven by 6-0. Jaden Dine, the right guard, turned out a block and gave Ace Holmes a wide open area, and then he broke an arm tackle and chugged down to the 4-yard line.
It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bobcats as the Bobcats in the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone for the first time here tonight. They'll hand it off. Ace Holmes gets it on 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the interior defensive linemen right there to bring down Ace Holmes, as he really didn't have a ton of room to work with, as Sherman Hopkins, one of the guys in there to help make that tackle.
Yeah, just Ace didn't have a whole lot to go. First time the Bobcats have really been bottled up in the run game.
Opening drive of the game for the Marshalltown Bobcats out of the pistol this time with a 3 wide receiver set. Ace Holmes, the back. Dalen Houston now will get to the line of scrimmage. He's going to try to sneak this thing, and I think it's going to be a false start on the left guard for the Bobcats. And it's going to back him up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, just got going a little bit too early. Number 7-4 got the motor revved and got moving in the right direction at the wrong time.
9:13 in the opening quarter of play. Bobcats got the kickoff to begin the game. They've taken it all the way down to the 4-yard line, but then backed up with that penalty back at the 9-yard line. So 2nd down and 9. At the 2nd and goal at the 9 from the 9. And the Bobcats break the huddle. Jacek Lee out of the wing back. On the right side of the offensive line, Ace Holmes stands to the right of his quarterback, and Dalen Houston out of the shotgun. 3 wide receiver set. Design QB rollout to the near side. Around the numbers and down to the 2, maybe 3-yard line as Dalen Houston will get back 6 yards right there on 2nd and goal. And it will bring up 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. So right there, another good play. Dalen Houston with that traditional play where he follows Ace Holmes' lead blocker and picks up solid yardage.
That's really been one of my favorite plays this year, is that little RPO action where you allow Ace Holmes to become that lead blocker. He's a great runner, great blocker, gives Dalen a little bit of that foresight. Bobcats almost up to 80 yards rushing so far, with Dalen having 40 and Ace having 38 of that.
Bobcats looking to complete a 75-yard drive to open up the game. Dalen Houston will take it himself on 3rd and goal at the 3 inside the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone. Fighting off 2 Jefferson Jayhawks. Touchdown, Cats. 4 minutes into the game, the Bobcats take it all the way down the field, and 3rd and goal from the 3. They strike it rich for a touchdown. They lead 6-0.
Yeah, I thought Jefferson did a great job wrapping him up, but could not get him to the ground. Thought he'd be down at the 1, but Dalen just kept fighting, and got 6.
Johan Gomez on for the PAT for the Bobcats so far this season. Been pretty clutch, and he is again. He's only missed on 2 PATs so far this season. He puts that one through, and the Bobcats lead it 7-0. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching and listening to KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
Back at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Bobcats leading at 7-0 with 4 minutes gone here in the opening quarter of play. A good opening drive by the Bobcats as they start at their own 25-yard line, go down 75 yards, and a 3-yard touchdown run by Dalen Houston caps off the drive and lead it 7-0. Our kickoff here tonight, all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group in Marshalltown, your home team advantage. Yohan Gomez off to kick it off. Let's get a rushing update with intern Zach. How are the Bobcats looking stats-wise after that opening drive?
Yeah, they went 80 yards in total. Ace Holmes had 38 rushing yards, and Dalen Houston came out with 42 rushing yards.
Kickoff down to the 25-yard line as Jefferson will bring it up just over the 30, shy of the 35 at the 34-yard line. Not a bad return. The up man coming up with that one is Demetrius Moore, the sophomore backup quarterback and safety, as he returns that to the 35 is officially where they spot it, and the Bobcat defense will come out for the first time here tonight. Dylan, the Bobcat defense this season giving up 25 points per game on average. First quarters where they've gotten hit up a lot at 61 points in that first quarter. It's key for them to get off to a good start early in this one.
Yeah, got 7 on the board. Let's get the ball right back. What we don't see in the defensive backfield is Trayshawn Brooks. Drake Capayu is starting at his safety position tonight.
And Drake Capayu, we talked about that a little bit with Coach in the pregame here tonight, that he's just such a smart player and a player who can get the job done. We know how good of a cover man he is in the game of basketball, and did a nice job last week as well, as Tate Ring had got the start, but Drake Capayu came in, and the senior made a good effort last week. Jefferson runs it on first down for 1 yard. It's 2nd down and 9 as they break the huddle.
Yeah, first play was just the up back, Clayton Bachtoven. Just ran it right into the line, maybe got a half a yard. Bobcats got him at 2nd and 9.
Pfeiffer looks back to drop and pass for the first time here tonight. He's going to be caught back behind the line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line. So it's going to be a loss of a couple of yards as that ball caught out on the far side by Tyler Houston, who makes his 10th reception of the season but pays for it as he loses 2 yards.
Yeah, Rogelio Seren's really playing that short side cornerback really, really well. Saw Houston out in the flat, was able to recognize it. The only thing I'd like to see from Seren, he went high, almost got him up in the face mask. Love to see him just drive that tackle right through the thigh pads of Houston.
Jefferson going from right to left in this first quarter of play as the Bobcats lead at 7-0 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. A throw on near side. They're trying to go for a wide receiver on the near side, which is Bradley Cable, and he's not able to come up with it. It's incomplete up at the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 11 at the 34-yard line on their own side of the field, so Jefferson's going to bring on the punt team on their opening drive of the game. So Bobcats -1 there on that drive for Cedar Rapids Jefferson. And so far this season, their offense has not really done the job. 85 yards a game is what they're averaging on offense. 14 on the ground, 71 through the air. And Jefferson will send out block as a Bizzo, and it's blocked. And back at the 5-yard line, Tate Ring has it. He picks it up. And that is going to be marked at the 4-yard line. Bobcats have it. Tate Ring with a big play on the spot with 6:17 in the opening quarter.
What the community's been saying is Tate Ring's been a different player since he was on the coach's show with us. Actually, only I've been saying that. But huge block. It was did not get a good, clean snap back there, and the Bobcats just bull rushed. It was 2 or 3 there. Tate Ring was able to get the block, pick it up, tried the scoop and score, but was tackled at the 4-yard line. Bobcats on the door, ready to knock it in for another touchdown here.
7-0. Bobcats leading it with 6:17 in this opening quarter. As Dalen Houston with a 3-yard touchdown run to open up the game on their first drive. This will be technically their second drive of the game, and it'll be a 1st and goal situation at the 4-yard line as the Bobcats start in the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone. We're not comfortable until you are.
And Jefferson's Dayton guy, sophomore safety, comes limping off the field. He's being helped over to the bench to be looked at.
That's one thing that they've seen a lot of this year is a lot of injuries. Dalen Houston, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Bobcats with it on the far side hash mark. Left to right they go. 3 wide receivers set. Handoff, Ace Holmes right up the middle off left tackle. Easy. No one touches him. It is a 4-yard rumble for Ace Holmes as he gets in his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Cats lead 13-0.
If it was all that easy, Ace Holmes just doing work. Between he and Dalen, they're up over to 85 yards basically on the ground. A big hole. Ace didn't have to do a whole lot. He just knew where to go with it. 6 for number 1.
Yohan Gomez on for the PAT with 6:12 in the first quarter, and the Cats lead it now 14-0. Yohan Gomez puts in through the PAT. It is good, but Xavier Anderson, the holder, ended up getting tackled, and I think brushed up was Yohan Gomez, and there is a penalty flag on the play, so I think a violation that will go on the kickoff when we come back. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Within a city not far from here. The city includes a beautiful apartment building with indoor parking, a chapel, a movie theater, a swimming pool, exercise and recreational facilities, putting greens, and more. The city isn't really a city, but it is a wonderful place to live. Make friends and live your best life. It's the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The Embers provides security, independence, and companionship. Beautiful grounds outside and lovely studio, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments inside. See it for yourself. The Embers in Marshalltown.
Bobcats leading it by a score of 14-0, 6-12. We're not even halfway through this opening quarter of play. A quick drive. Intern Zach with a recap on the drive by the Bobcats.
I mean, it's easy recap here. 1 play, 4 yards. Ace Holmes, nobody touched him. Touchdown.
And on the ensuing PAT, Yohan Gomez was bumped, and Xavier Anderson, the holder, was completely ran over by a Jefferson Jayhawk, and so a penalty on the play. And the Bobcats will kick off from the Jefferson 45-yard line as Brendan Fenders will be out to kick off for the Bobcats. Kickoff all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group of Marshalltown, online at 5starhometeam.com. Fenders winds up for the kick.
I like it.
And it's a little squib kick up at the 30-yard line, and the Bobcats can't get there in time. Jefferson covers it up, and that's where they'll start with their second drive of the night. First one did not go as they had hoped. They lost 1 yard, had to punt it away. The punt was blocked.
Yeah, Bobcats were ready for it. And here's the reality. Bobcats defense, if they just stay hat on hat, stay in their discipline, stay in their area, they're going to be fine tonight. When they over pursue, when they get out of just out of the basics, that's where they may be burned here tonight. But as we talked about, Coach talked about Pfeiffer, good footwork, good arm. I thought he had a couple nice balls he threw. But overall, Bobcats defense was quite imposing in that 3-and-out.
6-10, first quarter, ball on the far side hash mark. Jefferson in their powder blue tops and bottoms. They'll run it on first down to the Bobcats. Eat the play up right there. And, boy, barely just back to the line of scrimmage as they run it on first down. As the run does net about a yard and a half for Ashera Cololero, as he does pick up 2 yards now. It's second down and 8 with the clock counting at 5:45 here in the first quarter.
Number 67 for Jefferson's been quite active. Him and Kwani a little bit pushy. I don't have 67 on my roster, so I'm not quite sure who that is for Jefferson.
Yeah, we asked for rosters and didn't quite get that here tonight as well, too. A pitch out to the near side of the field. That one is eaten up as Ace Holmes comes all the way back to the 20-yard line, as that's going to be a loss of 13 yards. The pitch out from Pfeiffer to his running back, and Isaiah Cololero is a mishap, and it's going to bring up a long third down.
there's a lot of things that cause lonely feelings. I think maybe number one here on a Thursday night in Cedar Rapids is having the ball and having Ace Holmes come after you. Ace Holmes was not going to miss that tackle. A huge loss for Jefferson.
An 11-yard loss backs him up for 3rd and 19. 3 wide receivers set for Pfeiffer as he stands with a running back in Cololero to his right. It's a screen over the middle of the field. Wide receiver screen and blown up on the play. Who is it? Number 1 again. Ace Holmes finds the wide receiver and brings him down for only a marginal gain as LJ Nenow, number 4, the wide receiver, who was on a little slant route, little wide receiver screen towards the middle of the field, brought down after only a gain of 2 yards through the air. And here they go again. They'll have to punt it away as back to punt this one away. Burton Gazubas. I'm going to struggle with that name all night long here tonight. He's going to punt it, and it's going to go up to the 50 and just over the 50-yard line. Gasubizo. And that one is going to roll down to the 47-yard line, and that's where the Bobcats will start with the football on the 47-yard line on their own side of the field. And Jefferson, 2 yards, 2 punts here tonight as the Bobcats defense off to a strong start. Offense also off to a strong start, leading 14-0 with 4:07 first quarter.
Yeah, Ace Holmes right now is just ball hunting. Wherever the ball is, Ace Holmes is there. It's been pretty incredible here tonight. Bobcats, I'd love to see him take a shot here right about midfield, up 14-0. You have one-on-one coverage top side to Trayshawn Brooks.
Dalen Houston with that 3 wide receiver set. Tate Ring is checked in at running back. He'll get the handoff, go off of left guard as he's following Jaden Dine and not able to do anything besides get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have got a yard up to the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Tate was trying to just be patient, wait on that block, wait on the block. The blocking was a little late to develop, and Tate was tackled from the backside.
2nd down and 9 yards. Bobcats break the huddle. At the top, Corey Smith. In the slot, Nick Rebick. Trayshawn Brooks on the near side of the field. A whistle blown, and I think, I don't know if there's a little bit of blood on the leg of Corey Smith, but the officials will stop the game here at 3:30 in the opening quarter of play. And we do have a substitution, James Reed, into the game. Sometimes you just might have got a little blood on your knee or something of that nature. It's easy to get a little rug burn out here on the turf.
It's beautiful turf field here in Cedar Rapids.
Dalen Houston looks to go deep on 2nd down and 9. Trayshawn open. He bobbles and catches it.
There it is. There it is.
Touchdown. Bobcats strike for a 52-yard touchdown through the air. Trayshawn tried to drop it, but then he brought it in with 3:12 in the opening quarter. Cats on top, 20-0.
That was exactly like you said. He tried to drop it. He tried to juggle it. He was doing a lot of different magic acts down that sideline, but Dalen put it right on the money. 2nd and 9, put it on a line, and Trayshawn had his man by 5, 6, 7 yards as he had just burnt Bradley Cable for the 6.
Johan Gomez on for the PAT. It's good, and just missed, and the Bobcats will still lead 20-0 with 3:12 in the opening quarter of play. This is Bobcat Football. You're listening to KFJB and watching on KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown Community College for your education.
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
Bobcats leading this one 20-0 in the first quarter, 3:12. Bobcats strike for a 52-yard touchdown on one play. They go, or as 2 plays. Tate Ring ran for a yard, and then a 52-yard touchdown pass as his quarterback Dalen Houston hooked up with Trayshawn Brooks, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. So 20-0 is our score as you look here on KFJB-TV. Dylan, I'm going to draw out that last play since we don't have that video coverage. But, Jefferson here, they had single coverage, and Trayshawn just went up the near sideline right there, if you can see, and bobbled it right here around the 15.
About there.
And then end zone here, he got in, and there was nobody covering within 5 yards of him. So, anyway.
That's fantastic. This is high-level telestrator.
This might be our Lily May replay of the game here tonight. Anyway, back to the kickoff. As Jefferson picks it up at the 30-yard line, and they won't get a whole lot there, up to the 32-yard line with 3:05 in the first quarter of play. So, boom, right out of the gates, 20-0. We're not even to the second quarter.
No, not at all. And Bobcats have done almost everything well. Defensively, they've given up negative 11 yards. Jefferson's earned less yards than what they started the game with. The only thing is missed extra point. Dave Adlin, Marshalltown supporter, texted me and said, "We look great tonight."
Oh, thank you. No makeup tonight for either of us, so I really appreciate that. That's why you were a little bit behind us.
I come with a compact, ready to go.
3:05 in the opening quarter. Jefferson on their third drive of the night, 2 punts. First one was blocked. Bobcats were set up on the doorstep for an easy touchdown. We have another player substitution as before the play gets going, number 4, the wide receiver in LJ Enow, had to come out of the game. They're pointing at his knee. I'm not really sure if he might have had blood on his sock there too or what was going on. But Pfeiffer, the quarterback, will go get set back up with a 4 wide receiver set here. A.J. White. No, that's Colalero, the wide receiver, into the game. A pass out on the near side. It's caught by Demetrius Moore, the tight end. He's going to pick up a few yards. We do see a flag down on the far side of the field here. And I'm not sure if we had a legal procedure by the offense, maybe a false start from that referee on the far side. Yeah. But with 2:54 in the opening quarter of play, we'll see the officials talk it out here.
Yeah, it looks like Antonis Christodoulou, and that's my best. They're waving it off. They're waving off the flag. He seemed confused on that top side. Maybe they didn't think he was on the line as he should have been, but they ended up waving it off.
First down, they go through the air. They do pick up 4 yards. It's 2nd down and 6 for Cedar Rapids Jefferson. The Jayhawks trailing 20-0 to your Bobcats. Still in the opening quarter of play. 2:44 here at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. Quick pass out, near side, one juke. Outside the numbers at the 40 up to the 48-yard line before finally drunk down. That's going to be a first down catch. Coming up with the play is Tyler Houston, the sophomore wide receiver. And Dylan, in the pregame show, we talked a lot about that. Sophomores, juniors making a lot of plays. This is a very young team as they scramble to the line of scrimmage here at the 49-yard line is where that one is finally put down on the ground. And the Bobcats with a late substitution, Aiden Drager, will have to come out of the – I have never seen the game stop this much so early for players that need to be subbed out of the game. I don't know what's going on.
It's been 3 times in 4 plays.
Yeah,
but Coach was right. Pfeiffer's got a good ball, throws it well, 4 or 5 so far.
Pfeiffer will go deep near side, and it's over the head, just a little bit long for LJ Nino. And the freshman wide receiver can't get to it. That one sailed over his head with 2:20 in the opening quarter play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Ball still on the Jayhawks side of the field at the 49-yard line. Pfeiffer out of a 4 wide receiver set. We did not see them do this a whole lot last year. This is a little bit of a change-up for Ed Miles in his first year for Jefferson. Boy, nice that one ball on a rope out to the 40-yard line, just shy of the 40, as the quarterback and Jeremiah Pfeiffer hooks up with Tyler Houston for the reception. It will be a 9-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Pfeiffer underneath center. They'll push ahead on a QB sneak for the first down and inside the 40-yard line in Bobcat territory now at the 38. So Pfeiffer getting into a little bit of a rhythm here in this up-tempo offense, and now we see a flag late on the field.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on the Bobcats, but the 4 wide and the tempo is really, the Bobcats have really struggled with it, and Pfeiffer's putting it right on the numbers. So far, the junior signal caller is now 5 of 7 for 23 yards. Not a lot of yards, but he's putting it right on the money.
Yeah, that was an impressive throw right there on to get the first down.
And it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Bobcats.
Was that a face mask or what was going on there? Was somebody a little chippy there after the play?
Yeah, a little bit unsportsmanlike penalty. This is where I think you see Duncan Furch bringing one of the linebackers, bringing a little bit of pressure potentially.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to play it straight up there, but you got to get Pfeiffer's eyes looking down at the pressure as well.
4 wide, they'll swing it out to the running back. It's incomplete over the head of Isaiah Cololero, but they had trips to the near side and one on the top. And it's incomplete, bringing up 2nd down and 10 at the 23-yard line and going in for the Jayhawks as they are in Bobcat territory. Nice little student section has arrived here at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. 3 wide receivers near side, 1 to the top side of the formation. Pfeiffer hands off to Cololero, his running back. He'll get up to the 20-yard line, and that'll be a 3-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Ball resting right in the middle of the hash field with one right in the middle of the field, in between the hashes, with 1:39 and counting in the opening quarter.
Yeah, sophomore defensive tackle Owen Eaton with the tackle. We've been saying Owen's name a lot more as the season has progressed this year.
3rd and 7. They'll stay with a 4 wide receiver set. Pfeiffer will sail this one out of the back of the end zone. Intended target was Bradley Cable. That'll bring up 4th down and 7. As that one just Pfeiffer, I think, kind of lost the feel of that throw right there, and it looks like they're going to bring the special teams unit possibly onto the field for a long field goal. And, yeah, they are. It's going to be that guy, Burton Cazabizzo.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. Intern Zach, can we get a correction on that name?
Yeah, I'm not the guy to go to.
I still have struggled. I've listened to other games, and everyone else struggles with it. All right, he's lining up for a 30-yard field goal. It's faked. Off to the near side they'll go, and not going to come up with it as the holder in Bradley Cable scrambles to the near side. They end up picking up 5 yards, but they're 2 yards short. And right there on the run is Bradley Cable, not able to get the first down, and the Bobcats will take over a turnover on downs with 1:16 in the opening quarter.
Jayhawks look good there on that drive. They found some success in the tempo, spreading out the Bobcats. Bobcats stayed in their base 4-3 defense, but when it came down into the 25-yard line and in, Bobcats really held firm in that back four. Drake Kapayu with nice coverage on that 3rd down throw.
Bobcats will take over here at the 18-yard line. Ball in the near side hash mark, going left to right. White tops and bottoms for the red and blue here tonight. Handoff, Ace Holmes right up the middle. He has that at the left hash marks. He's busting past the defender. He's loose at the 50, 40, 30, 20. Looking back for defenders. Running out of gas at the 10. Oh, and tripped up at the 5-yard line. Ace out of gas late. But it's a huge run for Ace Holmes all the way down to the 5-yard line to get inside the Ethington and Heating Cooling red zone.
He ran into the tackle. If he would have kept going to that if he would have kept going to that far side, he would have had 6. He actually ran into the coverage. But Ace with a huge run. Ace posted today he was just offered by St. Anthony out in North Carolina, a good NAIA school, and they've got to love what they see from number 1.
76-yard run for Ace Holmes, who's over 100 on the night with 118 rushing yards. Why not give it to him? He's back with some gas. He's got a touchdown, his second one of the night. 6-yard touchdown rush. Ace Holmes, Bobcats 26, Jayhawks nothing.
Huge run. Ace Holmes was able to put it away, and this is a momentum killer. When you think it from the Jayhawks, finally get a little bit of success, go for the fake field goal, doesn't happen, doesn't work. 2 plays later, Bobcats are in the end zone. It's 26-0, pending the point after.
Now, false start by the Bobcats special teams unit right here. Johan Gomez, I think it's actually on him. He started to go. The snap did not come. And a little bit off there as the Bobcats missed their last PAT. And actually, it's going to be on Jefferson offsides. On Jefferson, they probably saw Johan Gomez a little bit kind of stutter. Maybe that got him off. But anyway, Gomez a little bit closer on the PAT here. He just missed his 3rd PAT in the last attempt. But the Bobcats will go for it here for the point after touchdown, leading 26-0 as Gomez stands in there. Nick Lucas on the snap. Xavier Anderson, the hold, and it is up and it's through, and the Bobcats lead it now 27-0 with 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. Off to a hot start here tonight. Ace Holmes already over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, you look at this already. Bobcats almost at 170 yards rushing, 50 yards passing, that huge 52-yard touchdown pass to Trayshawn Brooks. The Bobcats have been able to do whatever they want. Aside from that last drive by the Jayhawks offense where they got into a little bit of rhythm, it's been a flawless Thursday night.
Drive recap, Zach.
Yes, we had 2 runs by Ace Holmes, the first big one for 76 yards, and then he punches it in with a 6-yard touchdown run.
Kickoff all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group of Marshalltown, online at 5starhometeam.com. Fenders on to kick it off for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Back to return, Tyler Houston for the Jefferson Jayhawks here tonight.
Yeah, this has really been the area the Bobcats have not been able to crack this year is their kickoff coverage. And they've, over the last 3 weeks, have gone to short kicking it. And I anticipate they will do that again here, giving the Jayhawks good field position.
We'll get you more of a scoreboard update coming up in a little bit, but Sioux City East, the Black Raiders 19-0 leading Roosevelt here tonight. So that's a big game to keep your eye on. That helps out Bobcats if the Black Raiders are able to beat the Rough Riders. A big return by the Jefferson Jayhawks up over the 30-yard line into Bobcat territory. And we do have a flag, though, on the Jayhawks side of the field. And it could be holding, and it is a block in the back, actually, on Jefferson on the return. So they were going to be down inside the 30 in Bobcat territory, but this one coming all the way back on their end of the field.
And, yeah, that we were lucky enough. Caleb Kusero kept hustling down there and was able to knock the Jayhawks out of bounds, but the Bobcats dodge a bullet here. 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Instead of it being on the Bobcats' 25, it's going to be on the Jayhawks' 25. Basically a 50-yard penalty.
20 seconds to go in this first quarter of play. It's been a long first quarter as the Bobcats with big plays here tonight.
It's been
not burning a lot of time.
I love these type of long first quarters. We've been on the other side of these quarters a little bit. I like this a whole lot more.
27-0 here in the first quarter of play with just 20 seconds to go. Pfeiffer back out there to run the offense. They'll hand it off and a counter play. I don't think it was a design counter play, but the ball does come out at the 30-yard line. Do the Bobcats have it? Officials over there, and they put their hand up indicating that Jefferson was able to get back on that one, shy of the 30, up at the 28-yard, well, about the 29-yard line. And so it'll be a few-yard gain right there. And Cololero, the running back, took that. He was kind of bent over, fumbled that ball, and I don't know if he fumbled it because he was in pain, but he is down on the ground right now.
Rogelio Seren popped him. And the junior quarterback knocked it out.
And so we do have a player down on the field, and that will end the opening quarter of play. 27-0 is our score. We start the second quarter. Next is the Bobcats lead it here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Bobcats leading it 27-0 at the end of the first quarter. Time to get a scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank.
Roosevelt Rough Riders are having a rough ride against Sioux City East as Sioux City East is up 19-0. And then my beloved Chicago Bears, the Monsters of the Midway, have a 0. But thank goodness so do the Washington Commanders, 0-0 Thursday Night Football.
We'll get a stat update here in a second with Zach Tomish. Pfeiffer out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 7. He'll roll out near side, looking downfield, and throws it into the Jayhawk bench. All right, Bobcats off to a good start on the ground, Zach.
Yeah, Bobcats on the ground tonight. They have 167 yards total on the ground. Dalen Houston accounts for 42. And Ace Holmes, 124 yards.
And that long 52-yard touchdown bomb to Trayshawn Brooks as well is another big play there for the Bobcat offense. So Pfeiffer out there underneath center for about the first time we've seen here tonight.
We haven't seen this much all year.
Yeah, Devin Hickman is the new running back into the game. They're going to throw out in the flat to the tight end. Breaks the tackle. Demetrius Moore has it up near the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 13 yards through the air to pick up the first down with 11:46 in the second quarter.
Yeah, great job. It was a fake handoff into a bootleg, and as Nick Revick went after Pfeiffer, he was just able to drop it down. Oh, my.
Pfeiffer loses the touch on the football. He slings it out near side, and, boy, that one was kind of a knuckleball. It came out into the Jefferson Jayhawk bench. Incomplete, bringing up second down and 10. Ball resting on their own 40-yard line, far side hash mark.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's been pretty accurate most of the night. He has had 2 or 3 balls, and you do wonder a little bit. It's pretty chilly here tonight. The hands get numb.
We're down to 41.
Don't get that grip.
Yeah, 41. Definitely the chilliest night, too, because we've seen a little bit of a wind here tonight that it says not quite moving the flag around as much. The wind's died down since kickoff. Second down and 10 with 11.5 minutes to go.
Oh.
And Jakey with the tip as he was on the near side defensive end spot. He got his hands up in the air as Pfeiffer tried to deliver, and he had an opportunity to maybe get himself a pick six right there.
We almost had a big guy touchdown. There is nothing better than a big guy touchdown, and we about had one.
Third down and 10 as it's incomplete. Bobcats leading 27-0 here in this second quarter of play. 11:27 in the second quarter. Bobcats on the road here in week number 8. We'll be back home, and, yeah, we'll have video of that one next week.
Well, how do we rate? That's pretty awesome.
Third and 10. Pfeiffer drops back, looking downfield, keeps his eyes ahead, and leveled is a wide receiver, makes the catch, and the tackle made by Seth Smith. The catch is brought in as Bradley Cable.
They're going to go tempo.
And it's 4th down and 1. They're going to go right to the line of scrimmage. Pfeiffer's going to run this one. He drops the ball. It's out, and the officials do indicate a timeout was called first by the Bobcats here in the second quarter with 11:07. And it's a timeout, Marshalltown Bobcats. And if they didn't do that, it was going to be a turnover on downs because Jefferson fumbled the ball and went right down on the ground, did Pfeiffer. And so, boy, Adam Goodwin kind of bails him out right there. I know that's the right call you make as a head coach. The last thing you want is an easy first down conversion again like they did last time. But you never know those things are going to happen until they do.
Yeah, it's that whole thing that the Jayhawks, when they've had success on offense, it's all been tempo, and they sprinted up to the line to get a quick quarterback sneak. And Goodwin, there's no reason why not to take a timeout. You've got all 3 of them. You're up 27-0, but then that snap was bobbled, and the Bobcats would have had the ball easily enough.
So that timeout taken with the clock at 11:07 in the second quarter. Bobcats leading 27-0. Ace Holmes with a couple of touchdowns tonight. Pfeiffer's not going to be underneath center on 4th and 1, but they are going to go for it. Ball resting on their own 49-yard line.
This is Big 12 football at its finest.
They need to get
4th and 1 from the shotgun.
They need to get 1 yard for the first down. They'll bring a man in motion. And the wide receiver comes in out of the slot underneath center and will take it up to the 45. The ball comes out. The Bobcats forced a fumble late, and they have it, and the Bobcats are in Jayhawk territory. Wow, how about that? As Seth Smith comes up with a fumble recovery as a wide receiver out of the slot. I think that was Carter Bronson, came underneath center and then had the ball ripped away from him and go in the other direction, because I saw him kind of flail down to the 40-yard line, 10 yards down the field, and all of a sudden the Bobcats are taking it back the other way.
I think it was actually Demetrius Moore, the backup quarterback, came from the slot inside, and it says it's football out here. It looked a lot like Australian rules football. It was just a scrum, and then the Bobcats came out of it.
Bobcats will take over, leading 27-0, forcing the fumble right there. Seth Smith recovers it. Hand off to Tate Ring. He'll go around the edge on the far side of the field. Cuts it back at the numbers. He's breaking away. Tate Ring. Touchdown, his third of the year. It's a 48-yard rumble down the field. As at the 40-yard line, he cut it back towards the middle of the field. And boom, he hit another gear, and he's all the way in.
The big underlying fact of over 200 yards so far is the blocking on the outside. Trayshawn Brooks on that far side wide receiver kicked out the quarterback, allowing Tate Ring to put his foot in the ground, cut it back up the hash mark, and just go untouched 40-some-odd yards to pay dirt.
10:45 in the second quarter. Bobcats with Johan Gomez on for the PAT, leading 33-0. Just a matter of a few seconds into the second quarter. Gomez, PAT is up and good, and it's 34-0 with 10:45 in the second quarter. Bobcats big over the Jayhawks already. This is Bobcat football on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
10:45 second quarter. Bobcats all over the Jayhawks, 34-0. Brendan Fender's on to kick off. Kickoff all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group. Buy, sell, love Marshalltown with Kristen Pauly and their 5-star team. Online at 5starhometeam.com. Fender's at the 40, will squib it up the middle. A high reaching return for Jefferson up to the 40-yard line. On the return, Bradley Cable. So about a 10-yard return for Jefferson as he fielded it at the 30, and Cable gets him at the 41-yard line is officially where it's spotted up. Far side on the hash mark. It'll be first down and 10 by Jefferson as they just fumbled away a fourth down play.
Yeah.
He had a punt block earlier tonight. It's not been good offensively. Zach, tell me about this Jefferson Jayhawk offense. How many yards do they have
The
amassed?
offense is not looking too good. They got 45 yards passing and 2 yards total rushing.
That's one thing they have struggled to do is rush the ball. Meanwhile, the Bobcats not. 215 on the ground. Pfeiffer slings it out near side. It's caught up at the 44-yard line. Dancing around at the 45 and up to the 46-yard line. Little slant route, and the ball was caught by. Was that on the?
It's number 4.
Okay, it was LJ Nenow. Okay. All right. We'll go back to the air, slung out. Short hops to the wide receiver on the far side of the field. It's incomplete by Bradley Cable. Not able to come in with that one. And it's second down. And 5 yards to go for third down and 5 for the Jefferson Jayhawks on their own 46-yard line.
Seren, both Rogelio Seren and Braden Weatherly have done a good job on that outside. Braden, 2 plays ago, the little hitch route, he funneled the wide receiver back into the middle of the field where he could be gang tackled instead of allowing him the edge where he could go up the sideline.
Nick Rebick showing blitz on the near side out of his linebacker spot. So is Seth Smith on the other side. Bobcats going with a 3-4 defense. Timeout called by the Jayhawks. They trail to your Bobcats 34-0 with 10-12 in the second quarter right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Time for a new ride or a new-to-you ride? Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to help with new and used vehicle loans. Rates are as low as 2.24% for up to 60 months for new vehicles and used vehicles for 48 months. Go to their website, lennoxecu.com, for further details and membership eligibility, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
Bobcats up big, 34-0. 10-12, second quarter. Jefferson on a drive. It's third down and 5. A timeout was taken by Ed Miles, former Iowa Hawkeye linebacker, and spent 3 years in the NFL. He was at Linn-Mar for a few years coaching. And as they break the huddle here, 4 wide receivers set. Pfeiffer kind of directed the offensive line, which has had its fair share of injuries coming into this game. Running back, and Devin Hickman, the freshman, almost moved there. Pfeiffer going to be brought down back at the 30 as the Bobcats send a blitz off the edge. I mentioned that. Going to break that the Bobcats were showing some pressure, and Nick Rebick will come up with a sack. He gets his 4th sack of the season. It'll bring up a long 4th down, and Jefferson will have to punt again.
And that's a team-leading 4 sacks. And really, how do you get an offense out of rhythm? You have to create negative plays. If it be a flag or you bring that blitz and get that sack, just throw everything off. Nick came in untouched along with Clay Jakey, and the Bobcats are going to get this ball back again with just under 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Boy, the officials very ticky-tacky here tonight. I'm not sure if
Zach?
I think number 82, the punter, Gazabizzo, had like something on his wrist or something, but he was told to come out of the game, and Pfeiffer comes back in to punt. This one's going to hit up at the 35-yard line and picked up at the 37, and the Bobcats already in Jefferson Jayhawk territory. But for the Jayhawks here tonight, on their 5 drives, punt, turnover on downs, a fumble, and a punt here tonight. Not been good for Jefferson.
Yeah, they have not been able to execute. And while you were reading the drive recap, Zach Tomish was sent back to the Kicks 101 van. I think he had some blood on his knee. He's been asked to leave. So hopefully he's able to get back before half so he can read stats over the halftime report.
9:23 in the second quarter. Bobcats take over, going in already in Jayhawk territory at the 38-yard line. Ball on the near side hash. Dalen Houston out of the shotgun, brings a man in motion. That's Kusaro. It's a sweep. They fake the sweep. Dalen Houston keeps it, cuts it back near side. Boy, not maybe the greatest decision in the world. A 2-yard gain. He is bumped up from behind, and it will be second down. And actually only credit him a gain of 1 yard. So it'll be second down and 9. And there's a Jayhawk down on the field. But Kusaro, it looked like that jet sweep was wide open there. And Dalen, unfortunately, kept it and did not get a whole lot.
Yeah, that jet sweep action, we talked about it last week. They ran 4 different plays off of that. They gave it on the jet sweep. They faked it, quarterback run, handoff to the tailback, and they actually threw out of it as well. But one thing we see, Dalen right there, he could have probably gotten 5 yards. He wanted 38 yards, so he danced a little bit, tried to pick his way to make the big play, but he was able to pick up 1 and keep moving forward.
Luke Moses, the one of the lone seniors on this team, not a lot of seniors. He limps off the field, leading the team with 24 tackles. He's tied for the team lead, 1 sack as well as he limps off the field. Second down and 9. Dalen Houston brings Kusaro in motion. Now he will hand it off, and Kusaro's got a lot of room to work with on the far side. Puts a stiff arm out there. He's almost got the first down on 2nd and 9. Looks like he gains about 7 yards to bring up 3rd down and 2.
And you were correct. It was open. They went right back to that jet sweep, and Caleb Kusaro was able to pick up some yardage. The junior shows some glimpses both at the cornerback position and in that slot position this year.
2 picks this year on defense. He's been real clutch, and that's good to see the junior making a good impact here for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Bobcats, 3 wide receivers set on 3rd down and short. Quick pass to Kusaro off of his fingertips, incomplete as he's drugged down late by the Jayhawks. 8:09 in the second quarter. It'll be 4th down and 2, and we'll see the Bobcats most likely go for it here.
Yeah, I just the one thing I'm going to nitpick a little bit on 1-5 is on those crossing routes, he's one that can sometimes throw behind his receivers.
We saw that earlier with Trayshawn.
Yeah. If he would have, and it's not a lot, it's not like 2 yards in front, but if he could throw that ball about another half yard on the inside, Kusaro's got the first down easily.
Ace Holmes will be back there in the backfield on 4th down and 2. Carter Hunt has checked in on the wingback spot. And Ace Holmes is tackled in the backfield. That's a big surprise right there, getting in on the play to make it. It's number 58, Anthony Snowdy, the sophomore, with a really good one-on-one tackle to bring Ace Holmes down to the backfield for a loss of 2.
Yeah, he broke through on that right side of the Bobcats line, just cut through, and Ace Holmes had nowhere to go. He was hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And that was surprising. They had Carter Hunt on the edge in the wingback spot over there, and they did not get the block set.
Yeah, and that's where the Bobcats had been so efficient. Is blocking out at that wide receiver position. Didn't happen so there. Snowdy, who's listed at 195, looked a whole lot bigger than that in the backfield.
All right, so the Bobcats turn it over on downs with 8:02 in the second quarter. Pfeiffer goes to the air and slings it. No one home on the far side of the field. As good coverage by Rogelio Seren on the far side. It is incomplete. Wide receiver was running down the field, and I think that was another one where Pfeiffer just lost that football and not able to get a good grip on it as LJ Nienow, the intended target on the far side. Incomplete, second down and 10. Ball resting on the 31-yard line on their own side of the field. On the far side, hash mark going left to right.
Yeah, it looked like maybe even it was supposed to be a comeback route or something because he threw it behind him by a good 10 yards.
Bobcats with 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers in the set there. They'll hand it off, sweep near side, cutting it back towards the middle of the field. Bobcats miss on a few tackles shy of the 40 at the 39-yard line is where the running back in Cololero is going to get up to. We do see a late flag on the field here as that one was going to bring up a long third down or short third down situation at about 3rd and 2 yards. And the flag, face mask penalty on the Bobcats. And that's going to add on to the end of the nearly about 8-yard run.
And that was a really odd play by Jefferson, able to get that 8 yards, but what you saw in the Bobcats, quite odd, and against what they've been doing all night. They were over-pursuing on that cutback. Even Ace Holmes missed the tackle there. And as the Bobcats over-pursued, great vision, great execution. What was an 8-yard run is now turned into a 23-yard play with the face mask penalty.
At the 46-yard line in Bobcat territory, Bobcats showing pressure. They'll hand it off and met in the backfield. The running back, Cololero, he's brought down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 12. As Cololero nowhere to work with, and the Bobcats sent the house. And coming up and making the stop, it's Nick Rebick.
Yeah, and David Santa Cruz blew that play up, almost got him. Drew Loney, along with Nick Rebick, was able to clean it up, but David Santa Cruz blew that play up, and it was dead on arrival.
Owen Eaton also out there in the defensive tackle spot. Santa Cruz, Kwani, 3 down linemen here. 2nd down and 12. Pfeiffer fakes the handoff, fires over the middle of the field, almost intercepted. Drake Capayu got a hand on that one. Corey Smith almost got it as well, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 12. Bobcats with good coverage downfield on a post route.
Yeah, that right there looked like a 1983 Aladdin's Arcade playing pinball, slapped against one hand to another, and Corey Smith was almost the hat trick there for the pick.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
The deep recesses of this brain is where no man should ever go.
You're on vacation, wearing sweatpants all the time, giving up on life.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on.
Does your friend you're meeting up with, does he have sweatpants on too? 6:45, second quarter. Pfeiffer drops back, loses this one. No, they had 2 wide receivers kind of in the same area. They sailed it, I thought, but he was looking for his intended target down the field, and Bradley Cable, it's incomplete, 4th down and 12. I thought he sailed that one because the wide receiver underneath was running almost the exact same route.
No, they had just on their route tree, they had the underneath route and the over top route, and it was a great throw, and Cable was working back to the sideline on that and couldn't quite grab it, but I thought it was a great throw by Pfeiffer. Yes, he's air-mailed a few throws, but I thought he's looked a lot better than what his stats indicate.
Zabizo is back on to punt, and it will hit at the 25-yard line of the Bobcats' end and take a Jayhawk roll down to the 19-yard line and go out of bounds. And the Bobcats will have to put together their longest drive of the night. Their longest one before this, 75 yards. That was their opening drive. And right now, with just 6:23 to go before halftime, they lead it 34-0 with 6:23 in the second quarter. Still some time to work with, but a good drive here for the Bobcat offense to keep things rolling.
This will actually be their second longest drive. Ace Holmes had an 82-yard drive on his own.
That's right.
But it's very, very close. And this is a big one. They're just coming off they turned it over on downs last time, their first drive that did not end up in 6.
Bobcats hand off. Ace Holmes right up the gut. He'll go. 30, puts on a nice stiff move. Runs over a Jayhawk at the 35 and falls down at the 37-yard line. Trying to come up and make the stop. It is Worley Fanord, and the junior safety, 5'9", 165, got met with a truck in Ace Holmes. But it's a first down run for Ace Holmes as he gets up over the 35-yard line at the 37, ball near the near side hash. And the Bobcats will break the huddle with a 3-wide receiver set.
I would say Ace Holmes is one of those recruits at the NAIA level, junior college, that a lot of local teams don't have eyes on because he's from Georgia. This is his first year playing Iowa ball, but he could really help someone.
Yeah, he definitely could. He's a great blocker. Dalen Houston just needs to get down here. He's going to scramble for it. He was looking to pass and then held on to the ball way too long. He's brought down to the backfield. It will be a loss of 3 yards as Dalen Houston on the sack right there. He was just kind of dancing around in the backfield. That's when you either got to just toss out of there right away or hit the dirt. Last thing you want is getting nailed in a game where you're up already 34-0.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of those runs he's had. He's looking to pick and move because he wants the highlight play. He's looking at it. Everyone else has big runs. I think he'd like to see one in his stat column as well.
Bobcats break the huddle with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Dalen Houston will go back to the air. Slings out far side. Jacek Lee catches it. He's up at the 40. Midfield. Breaks past the defender at the 40 and pushed out of bounds inside the 40. Great job, Jacek Lee, with a reception out of the backfield. We saw him a couple of weeks ago get a reception, or maybe it might have been a run, but anyway, he went for a touchdown and was called back. But a nice play by Jacek Lee. He's marked out of bounds at the 41-yard line, and another solid play through the air.
Jacek Lee doesn't get a lot of touches consistently, but it does seem about every other week he has a big play at a good time for the Bobcats offense. He's somebody that can run it out of that slot position, or he's always adept at catching the ball in the backfield as well.
The wingback picks up 23. It's 1st and 10. Bobcats look to go deep. Dalen brings it down now, runs out to the near side, gets a block from Jacek Lee. Outside the numbers at the 30, puts down the shoulders at the 20. Pushed out of bounds at the 10. Wow, what a run for Dalen Houston. Nearly a 30-yard gain on the ground. He's going to come up a 29-yard gain on the ground. First down, Bobcats. And nobody really wanted to bring down Dalen, and he punished a guy right around the 20-yard line to pick it up an extra 10 yards.
I would be, you almost are surprised by what he can do, and we see it every week and we're still surprised, but somehow 6'5" got lower than the 5'11" cornerback and just laid wood on him and got another 10, 12 yards.
Bobcats 3 wide receivers set. Ace Holmes stands to the left of his quarterback at Dalen Houston. He'll drop back, looks to pass, looks over the middle of the field. Trayshawn Brooks catches it at the 8. He's into the end zone. Second touchdown of the night. It's a 12-yard passing touchdown for Dalen Houston as he hooks up with his junior teammate in Trayshawn Brooks.
I love that they're letting Trayshawn eat a little because this kid has been just a wonderful asset on the outside of the field. Getting him a couple TD catches. He's now over 20 catches on the year, and he's really been quite the playmaker and Dalen's favorite target when he's throwing the football.
40-0 Bobcats. Yohan Gomez on for the PAT, and it is good, and it's 41-0. Bobcats lead it at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. Jayhawks nothing here in the second quarter. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV and listening on KFJB.
Never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
41-0 Bobcats all over the Jayhawks here tonight in Cedar Rapids. Bobcats go down the field, a long drive. And, of course, a big play by Jason Lee on that drive to help get them down in Jayhawk territory. Kickoff all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group in Marshalltown, your home team advantage. Fender's on to kick. He'll try to squib this one. It's actually a line drive caught at the 35-yard line. And they're going to have good field position, the Jefferson Jayhawks, as they bring it up over the 45-yard line. And on the return right there, it is Bradley Cable who gets him up to the 47-yard line. So good starting field position with 4:15 left here in the second quarter of play. And the Bobcats all over the Jayhawks here tonight. Dylan, it's just been one drive after another. The Bobcats able to go all the way down the field with an 81-yard drive capped off by a 12-yard touchdown pass from Dalen Houston to Trayshawn Brooks.
Yeah, really on offense, it's been a great asset. The Bobcats have blocked. All 10 guys who don't have the ball have initiated blocks, and it's really created wide open lanes for the Bobcats to run through. Everyone's getting involved, big plays all over the place, and defense is keeping it locked down on the other side.
Not sure if we had a timeout. No, we have a penalty flag on the field on the far side.
Offsides on Tyrell French.
5-yard penalty will put the football in Bobcat territory at the 48-yard line.
And you're seeing that line. You're seeing Lincoln Barker. You're seeing Terrell French. And you're seeing, along with Aiden Drager, you're seeing that second-team defensive line in for the Bobcats so far.
Option play out to the far side. Seth Smith read it well. Now he comes back in the play, and he'll make the tackle and brought down in the backfield, the running back.
James Reed with he played that incredibly well out there in the flat and was able to wrap him up around the ankles. Big tackle by the senior.
Colalero, a 1-yard loss back to the 49-yard line with 3 minutes in the second quarter. Bobcats again leading 41-0. Pfeiffer will get underneath center as Colalero looks like he's kind of limping a little bit, the running back. Second down and 6 after the loss. Pfeiffer rolls out near side bootleg, just drops it in over Nick Rebick, the linebacker, as they get it to the wide receiver, pushed out of bounds shy of the 30 at about the 32-yard line. It's another nice pass by Pfeiffer as he connects with Tyler Houston. We've seen him be on point here tonight. He's also sailed a few balls, but Pfeiffer not a bad quarterback when he's able to either roll out or he's given some time.
Yeah, it's either that quick pitch out or if he is able to roll out, he does have a good arm there. And Corey Smith did not, kind of lazily tried to tackle. Instead of wrapping up, he pushed, and it didn't knock the kid over. It actually just allowed him to go much faster down the field. And really, when you're up 41-0, you don't want to lose fundamentals. You want to wrap up, tackle, get him to the ground.
Pfeiffer hands off to Colalero, and he's dancing around in the backfield, not able to get a whole lot right there. A nice job by Aiden Drager. He's the first man to meet the running back at the 31-yard line. He did fall ahead to the 30-yard line, so a gain of about a yard right there, second down and 9 for the Jayhawks with 1:45 before halftime.
It'll be interesting to see the Bobcats here playing a mix of first team, second team. You still see at that linebacking group, James Reed is in for Ace Holmes. You see Seth Smith still out there, Nick Rebick still out there, starting back four as well.
Pfeiffer directing out and pointing out the defensive lineman for the Bobcats. Fakes the handoff, rolls out near side. Pfeiffer looking downfield. He'll sling it out of bounds. Incomplete. And it is going to be third down and 9. Ball resting at the 30-yard line in Bobcat territory. And so the Jayhawks trying to get some points on the board here just before halftime, as he does have 67 yards through the air as Zach always trying to talk to me while I'm trying to talk.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's already thrown the ball 21 times this half.
Yeah.
That's a lot, especially for high school football.
We've seen some guys chuck it around quite a bit this year. But, yeah, he's up there, 21 throws, trying to keep this Jefferson team into it.
3rd and 9, Pfeiffer. Nowhere to pass. He's going to break out. Slides is forward progression at the 30-yard line. And so that's going to be a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th down and 4. 32 seconds to go before halftime. And Ed Miles is going to call for a timeout here for the Jayhawks. And so he gets shy of the first down. What do you draw up here on this play? I guess if you're the Jayhawks, they could go for a field goal, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot when you're down 41-0.
No, I think really you're just looking to get 6 before the half. They've done a nice job of running those 2-tier routes, that short underneath and the guy over top. So I would look at something. They played with that RPO a little bit, but I would look something to the sideline where they've had success on about those 5-10-yard outs and be able to pick up the first down.
On your Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard, Bobcats leading 41-0 with 32 seconds to go before halftime. You're at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. 4th and 4 for Ed Miles. And it looks like the offense is coming out here. And so trailing by the large margin, they will try to pick up the first down just before the break. Week number 8, Bobcats with a win here tonight would move back to 4-4. They get back to 500 with an opportunity to pick up victory number 5 next week at home against Des Moines North. Pfeiffer goes to the air, sails one. Weatherly! His 4th interception of the year at the 15, brings it back shy of the 30, and Braden Weatherly pumped up down there as he's getting beat up by his teammates. Corey Smith encouraging him, but his 4th interception of the year. Braden Weatherly just Johnny on the spot.
Braden is so mad at Colin Woods. The 71, the junior, tripped him up by his feet. I think Braden Weatherly saw 6 in his future.
I think so, too.
Because it was wide open, but Colin Woods, the offensive lineman, was able to trip him up by the shoelaces.
Bobcats leading 41-0. Final seconds tick off here, and the Bobcats going to head to the locker room with a running clock in the second half. It is 41-0 at the break. It's been all Cats. We get a stat update and a recap of our first half when we come back. You're watching and listening to Bobcat football right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Named Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at CaponandBrownInc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call on someone who's invested in your success. Zach Wall, your Marshalltown Edward Jones financial advisor, is here to help you. He will work to build a complete picture of your financial life, including your unique goals and passions, so he can help you achieve what's most important to you. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Welcome. into the Bobcat Halftime Report. Here's the voice of Bobcat
At the
football,
break, the Marshalltown
Brandon
Bobcats
Lewis.
all over Cedar Rapids Jefferson. 41-0 is our halftime score. As the Bobcats leading it, I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Doze alongside me. And Zach Tomish in the booth with us with stats here tonight. So as we look in at our first half stats, all presented by Ken's Transmission at Marshalltown. Dylan, what kind of sticks out to you about the Bobcats offense in that first half?
It really comes down to the blocking. I thought the wideouts, all three, especially Trayshawn, Corey Smith, Nick Rebick, Caleb Kusero when he was out there, James Reed when he was out there, I thought they blocked the perimeter incredibly well, allowing the Bobcats to get to that second level and make those home run type runs throughout the first half.
All right, well, with our Ken's Transmission first half stats, we'll turn it over to Zach Tomish. Zach, take us through our stats here tonight.
Yeah, the Bobcats on offense here, they have a total of 354 total yards just in the first half alone. 267 of them came on the ground and 87 through the air. Dalen Houston, like I said, looking for that 100-100 game. He's got 87 yards passing, but then he's also got 71 yards rushing. But the leading Bobcat here on the ground is Ace Holmes with 140 yards already on the ground. The defense is looking strong, too, let me tell you guys. Have allowed a -5 rushing yards so far tonight. The big thing, the sack does count as negative rushing yards against the quarterback. That was -18, but only allowed 67 passing yards for a total of 62 yards for Jefferson here tonight.
And drive summaries in that first half. Jefferson, a lot of turnover on downs, turnovers, punts. Meanwhile, for the Bobcats, as you look at their drive summary in that first half, Zach, pretty impressive how efficient they've been on offense.
Yeah, they've scored on, I'm really going to say every drive but one, because getting the ball with about 10 seconds left in the second half, does that really count? Kind of hurts them there. But, yeah, they scored every drive on except for one, and they've had some big plays as well with a 48-yard run by Rang and a 52-yard pass from Houston to Brooks. So it's been some big explosive plays as well as punching it in right when they get down to the goal line.
Yeah, Trayshawn Brooks with a couple touchdowns, Ace Holmes with a couple touchdowns. Nice night for those guys out here. We'll have a running clock in the second half with the Bobcats up 41-0 at the break. Zach, I'll ask you as well. What sticks out stats-wise that you've been so impressed with how the offense has operated in the first half?
I mean, these big runs have been huge for the Bobcats, but I think it's the -5 rushing yards allowed here by the defense. The defense has stepped up, really kind of flexed their muscles here, and showed why they are the superior team.
Yeah, that is for sure. Bobcats again, 41-0, leading it at the break. When we come back, we will take a look at the scoreboard. Few games around the state going on, including Des Moines Roosevelt. They're in action against Sioux City East. How are they doing tonight? We'll check that out when we come back on our halftime coverage from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. This is Bobcat Football on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
41-0 here at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids, right across the way from the Cedar Rapids Colonels Baseball Stadium. As we get a scoreboard update tonight, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Dylan.
Yeah, we've got a big one in NFL action. The Commanders are up on my Bears 3-0. But when you look at Muscatine in one of the few games up on Davenport North, 21-6, I am shocked by the Sioux City East score.
Yeah.
We saw Roosevelt. It seems they have a Marshalltown hangover. They were down 46-6 at half. And then that's the two games we have here tonight, along with the Bears losing to the Commanders 3-0, showing that Thursday night football in the NFL may be one of the worst decisions in all of NFL history.
Wow.
They're terrible football games on Thursday. Not here in Cedar Rapids, but in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. All right, that is our scoreboard update. Again, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Locations in Ames, State Center, and West Des Moines. We did talk about it earlier tonight, though, but West Marshall, of course, week number 8, as they'll wrap up regular season play. They've got Albia at home tomorrow night. As East Marshall, they are going to be, I believe they're on the road, right?
Yeah.
At Applington, Parkersburg.
Parkersburg, the House of Horrors out there, the Falcons have a really good team this year. They're 6-1. They only stubbed their toe against Dyke New Hartford, who is no slouch, sitting at 5-2. East Marshall has a big hill to climb tomorrow, as Applington Parkersburg has long been the marker of success at the lower class level in Iowa football.
Well, we're at halftime here in Cedar Rapids. At the break, it's 41-0. Bobcats leading the Jefferson Jayhawks. Definitely not trailing.
No, they are definitely winning here today.
Dominating in the first half, of course, Ace Holmes leading the way on the ground, and a couple of touchdowns for himself. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching and listening to KFJB and KFJB-TV.
American Grill is Marshalltown Steakhouse. Ribeyes and sirloins, aged, hand-cut, and served with your choice of 2 of Legends' legendary sides and a dinner roll. If you are a prime rib fan, Legends has prime rib every Friday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m. With 3 sides to choose from, it's chef-seasoned and slow-cooked to tender, juicy perfection. Try Legends prime rib, and you'll know why it's Marshalltown's favorite. Legends American Grill is Marshalltown Steakhouse. The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
At halftime, 41-0. Bobcats leading it at Cedar Rapids Jefferson at Kingston Stadium. Welcome back in the booth. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Does alongside me. Time to get our halftime adjustments, all brought to you by Ken's Transmission. Dylan, what are your halftime adjustments for the Bobcats?
Not really an adjustment, but the adjustment will be the Bobcats are going to play a lot of second-team players, a lot of third-team players, a lot of people that work hard. So the adjustment is just as new players come in, keep being fundamental, keep blocking, keep hitting those holes, and don't allow mistakes. Don't over-pursue. So as more waves of Bobcats come in, just keep on keeping on.
Halftime adjustments all brought to you by Ken's Transmission. And, of course, Ken's Transmission, your family-owned transmission experts. At the break, we watched Jefferson Jayhawk Marching Band out on the field as we have about 4.5 minutes until we begin the second half. Next week, here on KFJB and KFJB-TV, it is Des Moines North at Leonard Cole Field. As kickoff will be at 7:30 next week. Our pregame show is at 6:30, and that will be a really good one to watch as the Polar Bears this year have put together a pretty good season. Bobcats were able to dominate them last year, winning by, I believe, over 20 points in that one. But it'll be a big matchup. Bobcats will try to get themselves to 5-4.
Yeah, last year when we were at Des Moines North, it just seemed haymaker and haymaker. It was George Foreman-esque, and just him and Muhammad Ali just throwing big rights at each other. And finally, the North Polar Bears' knees buckled, and the Bobcats were able to throw a couple more big punches and come away with a win. Bobcats were really just humming along offensively last year at the end of the year, and looking forward to much of the same next week. So
Polar Bears are 4-3, and heading into Friday night, Des Moines North They have a matchup at Ottumwa. It's homecoming for Ottumwa next week. Ottumwa's 3-4. Des Moines North will be 4-3 heading into that matchup. So if North does win that one, that will be even more of a bigger game for the Marshalltown Bobcats heading into that one. And last year when these two teams met up, it was a high-scoring affair. That's when the Bobcats were in their run of 60-point affairs as they dropped the North Polar Bears 63-32, the final score from a year ago.
Yeah, it was just offensively we were clicking on all cylinders, and that was the game I really got to see the explosion because last year, Cedar Rapids Jefferson, I was on the COVID sideline. I came up, so this is the first time I've got to see.
Yeah, Jared Heil was along.
Yeah,
with
Jared Heil. He came in the southpaw through the ninth inning for me, so this is my first year getting to see Cedar Rapids Jefferson. But I'd like to see 60 put up here tonight, and I wouldn't mind 60 put on the board next week either.
Hey, Bobcat fans, join Pence Appliance and TV and streaming football games all season long with KFJB-TV. Available at 1230kfjb.com or on Facebook and Twitter. You can also watch games on the YouTube app on your smart TV. Just subscribe for free to the KFJB-TV channel. Plus, for our viewers, upgrade your TV with a new 55-inch Samsung Smart TV from Pence Appliance and TV. Just head to 1230kfjb.com to sign up and win. And, of course, we are drawing to the end of the season, the regular season, so we're going to be giving that away shortly. So be sure to head there today and sign up for that. By the way, in downtown Marshalltown, we have our Raycom Bobcat Beacon. And when the Raycom building sign is lit in Bobcat red and blue, that means the game will be airing coming up on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Raycom, located at the corner of North 2nd and West State Street. Raycom, critical communications. We'll bring in Zach one more time here before we get the second half started. But I guess if you had any second half adjustments, did you see any out there?
Well, I mean, we've got to get Dalen to that 100-100 mark so that way I can be right in my first prediction here on KFJB-TV.
Wow. Making it all about himself. He really knows how to blend in with the TV people.
He really does need to be the color analyst. He's learned so much from me.
The people that I look up to, it's Dylan Does, it's Stu Gotts, the guys, they're all in it for themselves.
That's right. There's a single tear. It's frozen to my face, but it's a single tear. I've taught him so well.
Of course, we see Cedar Rapids Jefferson, the Jayhawk marching band, exit the field. Team's about ready to come back on the field for the second half. Nice little crowd has shown up here for the Marshalltown Bobcat faithful.
I mean, if I had to be serious here for a second, Brandon, I would say, it's going to be nice to get a look at these second-string guys, see what they can do, let them get some reps here. You never know when you're going to have to step up. 2 weeks ago with Jackson Bowie going down, it's any play somebody can go down. So it'd be nice to get them some reps, see what they can do, and you never know. You might find a diamond in the rough, I should say.
So here I'm going to have to teach him like I taught you.
Yeah.
It's not David's kid. It's Jim's kid. It's Bowie.
Bowie?
It's not Bowie.
Yeah, you asked me
David
earlier
Bowie.
on the name.
I'm following along. Yeah.
Not good with names.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
You should probably get better at that.
I'm working on it.
Good thing accuracy isn't important in the news.
The news is accurate. The names are a little just flubbed up.
So you're saying there's no fake news?
Just fake names.
Not on KFJB.
Just fake names.
I assume that really happened. Now we toss it to Zach for a quick news hit.
Well, we did have an accident on Center Street on our way out of town today.
We did, yeah. A little T-bone action there. So.
Yeah. Oh, gracious. We
are still on the air, Dylan.
I'm just listening to you all. Gracious.
At the half, it is 41-0. Second half is on the way. This is Bobcat Football on KFJB-TV.
Ever seen what it takes to fix a transmission? It takes a lot of patience, a lot of experience, and a whole lot of talent. At Ken's Transmission, they have all the above. Family owned and operated with over 62 years of experience in all areas of transmission, keeping your vehicle shifting smoothly and routine maintenance, repair, and replacement, including automatic and manual. For reputable service you can trust, Ken's Transmission. Ken's Transmission at 306 East Ensign Street in Marshalltown is a proud sponsor of the Marshalltown Bobcats.
There's a city within a city not far from here. The city includes a beautiful apartment building with indoor parking, a chapel, a movie theater, a swimming pool, exercise and recreational facilities, putting greens, and more. The city isn't really a city, but it is a wonderful place to live. Make friends and live your best life. It's the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The Embers provides security, independence, and companionship. Beautiful grounds outside and lovely studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments inside. See it for yourself. The Embers in Marshalltown.
Why choose Marshalltown Community College for your education?
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
41-0 again at the break as the Bobcats all over the Jayhawks tonight in Cedar Rapids at Kingston Stadium. Dylan Does alongside me. I'm Brandon Lewis. Thanks to Jeff Brooks, our producer back at the Kick Studios. Todd Steinkamp, our producer on site, as well as Zach Tomish here in the booth with us. Stats and updates, and Zach getting his feet wet here tonight. We're still having to coach him during the break, so, like I tell Zach, every day's your first day.
That's right. And every day, you're only as good as your last day, Zach. But you're going from Zach-a-stat to now Zach analysis. That's a pretty big step, bud. And you're doing a pretty good job here tonight.
Zach, are you a arts and crafts or arts and grafts guy? I've always wanted to know that.
Arts and grafts, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I love the graphs in class. You remember when you had to do the thing with the connect the dots? You get the number, and then you connect it, and it all...
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, right up my alley too.
Yeah,
this is
See, I knew I liked him. You're probably arts and crafts.
Oh yeah, I've got that hand turkey rolling in 5 different colors.
12 minutes put up on the scoreboard. We will have a running clock here in the second half as the Bobcats all over the Jayhawks. And the Bobcats out to kick it off for the second half. Our kickoff all brought to you by 5-Star Real Estate Group in Marshalltown, your home team advantage.
Really intrigued to see what the Bobcats do just with personnel here in the second half starting off.
And again on that Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard, 41-0. Boom, we are underway in the second half. Yohan Gomez on to kick. A squib kick all the way down to the 20, mishandled by the Jayhawks. They're going to run backwards, cede a little bit of ground, and slung down as 4 Bobcats are in there as Drew Loney and crew are in there to make the stop on Demetrius Moore, the sophomore, trying to return it. And he actually only gains maybe about 1 yard trying to get upfield, but inside the 20 at the 18 is where they will start with the ball to begin the second half of action for Cedar Rapids Jefferson.
Yeah, and it was a really nice job by Gomez. We have done some pooch punts where it does not get past that second level or you kick right at the up back. That one had a lot of time on the ground. And it looks like it's going to be first-team defense right out there. It's going to be the starters with Jakey, Santa Cruz, Kwani along on the line, and then all of your starters across the board.
Bobcats with 3 down linemen. They'll send it right in. Looked like they were trying to go for a screen over the middle. They'll fire out to the far side of the field as 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen hit the deck right away. And it is complete up to the 21-yard line. As I did not get a read on who had the catch there.
It's a Tanis Christodoulou.
Okay. All right.
He's got those flowing locks, the Zach Tomish-inspired locks out there.
2nd down and 8. Ball resting on the far side hash mark. Left to right goes Cedar Rapids Jefferson here in the third quarter. And the officials will indicate a timeout taken here for Ed Miles and the Jayhawks. 41-0. Third quarter, 10:25. This is Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
After closing in on that retirement property, chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
41-0 at 10:25 in the third quarter. Bobcats all over the Jefferson Jayhawks. It's second down and long as we welcome you back in here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me here tonight as the Bobcats on the road in week number 8, looking to move back to the 500 mark here on the season. A big game here tonight. Maybe not the opponent, 0-7, but Bobcats have sure made it look easy.
Yeah, it really was. As the Bobcats in this game just come off a big win, opponent who hasn't won, you've got to take care of what you can, be ready to play. Bobcats have excelled, scoring 6 touchdowns out of their first 7 possessions.
Second down and 8 goes for nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage in their running back as getting the handoff is Colalero. And so the Bobcats forcing a long third down now and 8 yards again here with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. And it's just been impressive how the defense bend but don't break, and then really not a lot of opportunities tonight for the Jayhawks.
No, Pfeiffer's had a little bit of luck in the throw, but once we got pressure, been able to knock him down a few times, been a lot better.
He'll throw to the far side of the field. It is incomplete, low of the intended target. And Antanas Christodoulou, I think that's how you said that, right?
I did with confidence, Christodoulou.
Christodoulou. 9.5 minutes in this third quarter. Fourth down, and the punt crew is back out there. We've seen Burton Gisbuzo a few times, and they've already blocked one here tonight. He'll get it away, and it will bounce shy of midfield and go out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So the Jefferson Jayhawks punt on their first drive of the second half, and the Bobcats will take over inside Jayhawk territory, leading 41-0.
So, Brandon, as we've said many times, I was a preacher for 15 years. There are a lot of difficult names in the Old Testament, especially.
Yes.
I always said, if you say it loudly and confidently, no one will ever question you because they don't know how it sounds either. So
yeah, but like I said in the open, and trying to get pronunciations on Gisbuzo, and even other announcers were saying,
I just say it ain't nothing but a G thing. That's what I say.
It is a sweep to the near side. Here's Malachi Holmes checking in. He's going to get up to the 45-yard line and inside the 44. At the 43 now is where they will mark this one. So a nice run by Malachi Holmes on 1st and 10, starting at the 49-yard line. So a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4, and we do have a man down on the field for Cedar Rapids Jefferson. And it's one of the interior defensive linemen. And can't quite get a read on who that might be.
I think it might be 67, who we don't have a number for, who really played quite well in that first half.
Looks like
no,
Clayton.
It's not 67. Just saw him come off the field. But the one thing I will say, Malachi Holmes last week, when he had a couple big runs coming out of that second half for the first time this year, he really kind of changed the game for the Bobcats as they were effectively to run. It was actually number 52, Clayton Bachhoven.
I was just going to say, I thought it was him, but it looks like he's already got that left knee kind of braced up, and he gets off the field on his own accord, but definitely not easily. As he's got a brace on that left knee, but looks like he might be okay. And the Bobcats back out offensively. Second down and 4 after the 6-yard gain by Malachi Holmes. Dalen Houston out of the pistol. Offset behind him is Ace Holmes. Kuzaro comes in motion, left to right, handoff, Ace Holmes right back up the middle, reverses it, near side 40, 30, he might go all the way as he puts a stiff arm out, a tough one at the 10, still on his feet, but pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line, and another big run right there for Ace Holmes of 32 yards.
It was a great play. It came off. Wish we could show you the replay, but it came off that jet sweep action. Kusaro.
If you want me to draw it up again, I can do that like I did earlier.
You're so good at it. Maybe next time. But he came on that action, but everyone flowed defensively with Kusaro. Ace Holmes got the handoff, came back out the backside of that, and it was nothing but green grass for number 1.
Bobcats in the Ethington and Heating Cooling red zone. Ethington Heating and Cooling, we're not comfortable until you are. Shotgun formation, roll out far side. Dalen Houston has it, a keeper, trying to get to the end zone as he reverses, comes back near side, and he's in for a touchdown. 6-yard touchdown rush for Dalen Houston, and the Bobcats extend their lead 47-0.
I feel like a bad Valentine's Day card. You said Dalen with the keeper. I would say he is a keeper. That was a big touchdown by 15 with his 14th of the year on the ground. I'm telling you, it is so important just to have a guy you can pick his way through chaos and a little bit of busyness and find green.
7:24 in the third quarter. Bobcats have the large lead as Johan Gomez is good with the point after touchdown. 7:24 in the third quarter. Bobcats up 48-0 right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
48-0, 7:24 in the third quarter. Bobcats have a large lead. Fenders back out to kick off for the Bobcats. Kickoff tonight, all presented by 5-Star Real Estate Group of Marshalltown, your home team advantage. Drive recap, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the big play by Ace Holmes, the 37-yard run. Then Dalen comes in and punches it in with the 6-yard run, busting through a couple defenders.
Efficient offense here tonight for the Bobcats. Quick strikes. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, it's just hat on hat, getting big holes, and the Bobcats making every ounce count.
Caught up at the 30 on a low-lying drive kick, brought back to the 42-yard line on the return by Bradley Cable. And so we've said this numerous times tonight for Jefferson. Really good starting field position, but they have not done a single thing with it.
Yeah, and that's really, the Bobcats have dodged a bullet for the most part with the inability to cover the kickoff, because especially tonight has not come back to bite them whatsoever. We're still seeing, now we're starting to see some mix and matching a little bit on that defense. We're seeing James Reed, and we're seeing Aiden Drager back in. We're seeing Tyrell French. You're starting to see second team
Lane Landero's in at corner on the near side as well.
Carter Hunt playing far side cornerback. You're seeing a lot of second teamers, a lot of people that have played snaps this year, but the first team defense is out.
6:25, and we do have the running clock here in the third quarter as the Bobcats with that lead, and the play clock will run out. They're going to have a delay of the game. It'll be still first down and 15. The team was still on the sideline when the play clock was running, and finally the team scrambled out late and did not have a clue where the game clock was. So first and 15 at the 36-yard line on their own side of the field for Jefferson. It is a high snap and brought in and firing out to the far side as we do have a quarterback change. Vernon Benda completes it out to the far side of the field as the freshman quarterback is now in for the Jefferson Jayhawks.
Benda has the lone passing touchdown on the year for Jefferson.
They come in 13 interceptions, just one touchdown pass on the year. Benda with 2 of those interceptions. They'll operate out of the shotgun. Second down and 11 after the 4-yard gain. Benda passes far side. It's incomplete, just a little bit short of the intended wide receiver. And Tanis Christodoulou is how Dylan says it. He told me to say it that way.
A-Town down. Tanis Christodoulou. That's what he is.
That is what you're right.
That's what he is. So
you're right. Third down and 11.
That's right. A-Town and I were talking, and that's what we decided about.
Under 5 minutes in the third quarter. What do you like?
I like the second team defense, not giving up a lot, playing everything in front of them, done a nice job.
They'll play with 4 down linemen for the Bobcat defense. Benda's going to go back to the air. He's going to sling it out near side, and they cannot bring in the catch. And good coverage getting in there. Jacob Gudith, the linebacker, able to hit the wide receiver as he was trying to catch that one. Incomplete, 4th down and 11. Here comes the special teams unit for Cedar Rapids Jefferson. What punt number are we on here, Zach?
We're on punt number 6, but only 5 of them have actually
gone down the field. Yeah, the first one of the night was blocked, and the Bobcats got it at the 4 and then capitalized on a touchdown run. Zach is down on the spot right there. 4th down and 11. Punt is away. As back to return for the Marshalltown Bobcats. It's fair caught at the 35. That's Nick Rebick as he catches it. And the Bobcats with good starting field position with under 4 minutes in the third quarter, leading 48-0.
Yeah, and that's the one position where you don't see a lot of switch, even in blowouts. They're punt return and kick return. Nick Rebick back there, he's just back there to catch it, but you don't run a lot of different punt returners. Looks like we're going to get no more Dalen as Xavier Anderson is coming in.
So Xavier Anderson is in there to run the quarterback. Wingback is Carter Hunt. Xavier Anderson will call for it. He'll hand it off on first down. And I believe that's Jacob Gudith getting the handoff. And yes, it is. He'll go off of right tackle. He's over the 40 up to the 43-yard line. So nice little run on first down of 8 yards for Gudith. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Bobcats, shy of the 45-yard line. Ball resting on the far side hash mark. Some of these starters on that offensive line are still in there, like Quan Quaddy. He's still in there at left guard. And the Bobcats with Xavier Anderson at quarterback. So far this year, 1 of 2 through the air for 8 yards, 11 rushing yards coming into this one. But when he's been called on this year, he's been clutch. Kuzaro on a jet sweep to the near side. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage and slung down. No gains. Going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Bobcats.
Caleb really needed to. He cut it up where he should have went on the outside of Jacob Gudith's block, and he kind of ran right into the defender. If he would have went on the outside of Gudith, he would have picked up the first down. But again, we have guys that haven't run the ball quite as much. It's a little bit different vibe out there, and still 3rd down, manageable, about 1.5 yards for the first down.
Anderson out of the pistol. Gudith stands to his right. Xavier Anderson takes it himself. He's going to push ahead, and he needs to get to the 45 for the first down on 3rd down and 2, and I think he has it for a 2-yard gain, and that'll move the sticks. A 2-yard run for Xavier Anderson, and a first down for the Bobcats on 3rd down as we are now under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Bobcats leading 48-0. Ball resting on the near side hash mark. Xavier Anderson, a heck of a wrestler as he went to state last year, and right there he shows that he's able to kind of push the pile along and get those yards he needs.
Yeah, that was a team effort back there. I believe Caleb Kusaro was helping him out. James Reed was pushing him forward, and Xavier just backed into that first down.
Jacob Gudith stands in the backfield out of the pistol for Anderson. He'll call for it. Gudith gets the handoff, and he's going nowhere. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, one thing you're seeing with this Jefferson defense, they've got 8 people in the box. They're not too worried about the pass in this scenario, so they're just crashing hard on this second-team Bobcat offense.
Bobcats most likely run one more play here in the third quarter, up 48-0 in that running clock. Anderson out of the pistol. 2nd down and 10. Bring a man in motion in Carter Hunt. Here's that sweep. He gets to the far side of the field. There's a face mask penalty as he was slung around. Yeah. And that will be a first down for the Bobcats as whistles stop the clock with 29 seconds in the third quarter. But that was blatant for everyone to see on that play, face mask penalty. And I believe it looked like Sherman Hopkins was the man who committed the foul.
Yeah, he looked like a top spinning out there as they got the hand and the face mask and spun him around 360.
Zach's got some information to pass along in the broadcast. What is it, Zach?
Well, I was just wondering, do you count the yards there with the penalty on the face mask?
No.
So it's just 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
It's just a penalty yardage.
Yep.
There we go.
Thank you.
Here we go. And this is brought to you by The More You Know. Marshalltown Community School District making a Bobcat out of us all.
1st and 10 at the 41 now after the penalty yardage. Ragland is in there to run the ball on 1st and 10, and he'll go off right guard and nothing doing. Maybe about a half a yard for Ragland as he takes it. That is the end of the third quarter. Bobcats 48, Jayhawks nothing on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
48-0 as we head to the fourth quarter tonight at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me. Time to get a scoreboard update, all brought to you tonight by Central State Bank.
Yeah, so far we've got, and looking at the updates, I know the Bears went up over the Commanders, and I only say this for the Bears fans, 7-3. And last updates are still the same as Roosevelt down 46-6 at half to Sioux City East. That's the last update we have there. And then 21-6 Muscatine over Davenport North. Again, that was at half as well.
Bobcats on a drive here, 2nd down and 10 at the 41-yard line in Jayhawk territory. Jet sweep to Carter Hunt, trying to extend it out to the far sideline as he comes from the near side to the far side, not able to do anything. Jayhawks read that sweep well, and it's a 2-yard loss. 3rd down and 12.
Yeah,
that's been the one highlight for Jefferson. They've done a nice job of the jet sweeps tonight.
Yeah, they really have. They've strung it out well. There's been times where they've bottled up Dalen a little bit in the run game, and this is a pure second-team offensive line with Kwani out and all starters out for the Bobcats here in the fourth quarter.
3rd down and 12 at the 43-yard line. Bobcats go left to right, heading towards the south end zone here at Kingston Stadium. Xavier Anderson looks to pass. He'll fire out into the flat. It's caught by Kuzaro at the 40. Turns it up for an extra 2 yards. He'll get down to the 38-yard line. And it is a 5-yard pickup through the air. Not bad for Xavier Anderson right there, hooking up with Kuzaro, but it will bring up 4th down. And as we are under 11 minutes in the fourth quarter, the Bobcats are going to go for it, up 48-0.
I really like that they allowed Xavier to throw there. A little bit of a play action. He had pressure from the backside, but he put it right where it needed to be. Nice catch by Caleb Kuzaro. Picked up 5, now making this 4th down play manageable.
Sioux City East now up 60-14 on Roosevelt. Wow. Bobcats up 48-0 here on the road in Cedar Rapids. Head off to Ragland on 4th down. He's breaking tackles. He's got the 1st down to the 30-yard line. Davis Ragland with an 8-yard rumble off a left tackle, and I like that run right there.
Yeah, they brought the spot back a little bit. I still think it's a 1st down, but they're going to measure it. I thought Davis Ragland, he moved the pile for the last 2.5 yards. It was a nice run by number 40.
Nevertheless, it's going to be an 8-yard gain and a 1st down as the sticks are just coming out right now, but you can definitely see how the Bobcats look like they have it by the nose of the football. And so the clock stops at 10:08 in the fourth quarter here tonight at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. Tonight's game all brought to you by Raycom of Marshalltown. When the Raycom building side is lit in Bobcat red and blue, that means the game will be airing on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Raycom, located at the corner of North 2nd and West State Street. Raycom Critical Communications. So the Bobcats do get the 1st down, and with 10 minutes and rolling now, they'll be deeper into Jayhawk territory at the 31-yard line. So Ragland picks up the 1st down on 4th down. He'll stay in there. It is a pistol formation for Xavier Anderson. Bring a man in motion, Jose Cho, and miscommunication there as Xavier Anderson trying to get it there to Cho and fumbled and covers it up. But it is going to be a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah, that was a very low snap. Hit him on the front side of the cleat, and Ochoa tried to grab it from the ground. Bobcats did a nice job of covering the fumble just on that low snap, but making it more difficult on themselves now on 2nd and 13.
Ball in the middle of the field at the 34-yard line. Ochoa gets the handoff again. He's going to bobble it. Will break out of a tackle. Keeps moving the pile. The Bobcats are going to get back the yardage they lost, but it'll be a long 3rd down and 10 here.
Yeah, Coach Goodman cannot like that ball is starting to hot potato on him. Really have to be able to get those clean handoffs.
Bobcats might look to go back to the air. Ball at the 32-yard line. 8:38 and counting. 4th quarter. 48-0. Bobcats up.
Yeah, one of the things you look here is Xavier's coming from the sideline is often you go to the ground just for ball control, ball safety, but we've fumbled the last two handoffs. You might see it a little bit safer in the pass game.
Looks like a timeout being called here by the Bobcats with 8:17 4th quarter. This is Bobcat football. They lead at 48-0 against the Jayhawks on KFJB.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat athletics.
48-0. 8:17 4th quarter. Bobcats leading at 3rd down and 11. As the Bobcats back on the field, they did take that timeout there. Head coach Adam Goodvin wanted his team to have the right play drawn up here at the 32-yard line. Ball in the middle of the field. Ragland is the deep back out of the pistol. Xavier Anderson, the quarterback. Officials, not sure what's going on here. Finally, they will start play. And as they break the huddle out of the pistol, Xavier Anderson will look over the defense, call for the ball. He'll go to the air. Looking deep, far side. I'm not sure if we're still holding on the defense. Johan Gomez, the intended target on 3rd down and 11. It is incomplete. The official will give the call here.
It would have been great if he could have put that on the numbers.
An illegal man downfield and most likely decline. That'll bring up 4th down. So 4th down and 11 as that was declined. And a long situation here for the Bobcats.
Yeah, you just saw some of the sloppiness that comes from a group that's not used to playing at the varsity level together. A little bit of sloppiness there, but overall drove the ball a little bit. The second team defense has been good. We're actually seeing a Johan Gomez 48-yard kick, a 49-yard attempt.
Yeah, 48 it looks like. He is at the knee right there, so long attempt here for Gomez. He's got plenty of leg usually, but this one's going to come up short into the end zone and drop down to the back of the end zone. Jayhawks tried to get that one and return it, so they could not. So the 48-yard field goal is no good for Johan Gomez, and with 7:19 in the football game, it's 48-0. Bobcats leading the Jayhawks right here on KFJB and KFJB-TV.
Town's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
48-0 with under 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Bobcats with a large lead. They will move to 500 on the season at a mark of 4-4 with a win on the road here at Cedar Rapids Jefferson here tonight. As Jefferson takes over, incomplete on their first down play. It's 2nd down and 10. Reserves in there for the Marshalltown Bobcats, doing a great job, especially on the defensive side. They've really come in there and been hard-nosed just like the first teamers.
Yeah, they've kept everything in front of them. They've been able to get good push on the line, no big plays over top. Really proud of the Bobcat effort across the board, but the execution from the second team on defense has been really good.
Looks like the backup quarterback will stay in there. He'll throw incomplete again as Vernon Benda. is incomplete on 3rd down and 10 now at the 20-yard line on their own side of the field. So Benda has come in. He's shown a strong arm, but the freshman just not really on point with his passes.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes from their running a lot of drag routes, a lot of things out in the flats. And Bobcats' coverage has been tight, so they've just been able to create enough of a coverage for Benda to be kind of off.
Running clock here in the 4th quarter. 5.5 minutes to go. 48-0. Bobcats up. Benda looks to the air. Bobcats getting good pressure. They're going to bring Benda back down in the backfield at the 16-yard line. Benda is brought down, and that's a guy we've been talking about all week. We talked about him last night at Bobcat Live. Lincoln Barker with the sack brings up 4th down and 14.
Yeah, Lincoln Barker has been really, really good. I equated him to a lot of what we talked about with Clay Jakey as a sophomore. As he came on late in his sophomore year, Lincoln Barker is going to be a player for the Bobcats for the next 2 years as a sophomore becomes an upperclassman next year.
Jayhawks will punt it away. Back deep to return is Nick Rebick. He's got a Jayhawk in his face, and there's the flag. It flies in. We'll have interference on the return, as that will give the Bobcats good field position with under 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter when we come back. It's 48-0. Bobcats lead the Jayhawks on KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
That's what happens when you're trying to wear gloves, Dylan. You try to turn your mic on, and then you turn your mic level down.
You got snowmobile gloves on over here.
This is all I'm working with. I forgot my gloves. Xavier Anderson on a run. He gets outside the numbers. He might get to the end zone. Does he? Yeah, it's a 26-yard touchdown run. Xavier Anderson, but a flag back at the 30. It's coming back. I forgot my gloves, and so Zach graciously gave me his ski gloves. And so that's what I'm working with here.
Yeah, Xavier got
All right, turn your mic down. Okay, now talk.
Xavier Anderson got to the sideline and went up and scored 6, but he got there with some illegal help, and it's going to be holding on that far side. I think it might have been Jacob Gudith on the top side, holding on the edge. Bobcats now backed up to the 38-yard line.
1st and 22 with 4 minutes to go in this one. 48-0. Bobcats all over the Jayhawks tonight. And the second team defense has been very impressive here tonight.
Yeah, they've been fantastic all night long. And the second team has been no different.
Xavier Anderson at quarterback. Davis Ragland stands to his right, and a false start by the Bobcats will back him up even further.
I thought it was offsides. Yeah.
All right, so it is going to be encroachment, and that'll be a free 5-yard penalty.
Sherman Hopkins III was a stand-up. It might have been Sherman Hopkins III or Anthony Snowdy III. All I know, somebody was the third and was stand-up and coming and was trying to guess the snap count and misjudged it and was offsides.
Ragland out of the pistol formation. He's the lone running back. 1st and 17. Bobcats on an end around. They've tried that play with a Cho a couple times tonight, but it's been read well by Jefferson. Bring up 2nd down and 17. Bobcats not able to do much there. 3 minutes to go in this one. 48-0. Bobcats leading it.
Yeah, just looking out there, Tyrell French. You're looking at Alex Sanchez along with Ty Jones out there, all second-team offensive linemen, but a lot of good kids getting an opportunity to play football here tonight.
Shotgun formation for Xavier Anderson. He's going to run it out to the far side of the field, puts a stiff arm out there, breaks tackle, trying to spin out of another tackle. He'll only gain a yard. It will be 3rd down and 16 yards to go here for the Bobcats.
Yeah, the Bobcats, Xavier was having to fend off tacklers all the way in the backfield. He's looking able to get just one or so out of it. That was a great run by him just to get that much, because he probably should have been swallowed up in the backfield for a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Bobcats up 48-0. Pistol formation. Xavier Anderson with 2 wingbacks in the set with 1 wide receiver on the far side of the football field. Ragland gets a handoff, makes a tackle. Ragland loses at the 20, cuts it back outside the hashes at the 15, and brought down. It's a first down run for Davis Ragland of 24 yards, and he'll move the sticks again just like he did earlier on a fourth down situation.
Yeah, this was a 1930s county fair. He was shot out of a cannon, just went about just right down the middle, just untouched.
You know what? You get the call. Take it. Take the play-by-play here. All right.
First down on the Jefferson Jayhawks 14. The Bobcats looking to put one in, see if they can get over the double quarter, get over 50 points here tonight. And Thursday night football is looking real good here for the Bobcats. It's going to be a penalty. Looks like it's going to be delay of the game on the Bobcats.
All right, and as they assess this penalty, we'll take a quick timeout. 48-0 Bobcats with 107 in the fourth quarter on KFJB-TV.
Is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at caponandbrowninc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
And we're back here in Cedar Rapids at Kingston Field. Bobcats hand it off to Davis Ragland. Ragland up over tackle, gets about 3 yards, and it'll be second down and 16. I'm Dylan Doze along with Brandon Lewis on KFJB-TV tonight, and I believe that will be our last play of the game as the Bobcats win big, 48-0.
48-0 is going to be our final score tonight as the Bobcats go on the road and just conduct a little bit of business. We're pitching a shutout, their first shutout of the season, in fact, and just from start to finish, a really good game here tonight.
Yeah, and I'd really love to see out of this second team, because we were in this situation with Lincoln. We were up big. A couple late touchdowns when the second team came in. Love to see this time a big lead. Second team defense comes in, and they were as dominant as the first team defense.
48-0 the final as the Bobcats move back to 500 at a mark of 4-4. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB and listening on KFJB-TV.
In your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. Home equity loans are as low as 3.74% for a 5-year fixed-rate loan. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA. Equal housing lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
48-0 the final score as the Bobcats take down the Jayhawks on the road. They put up over 350 yards of rushing. We'll recap all of that. Plus, we'll talk to head coach Adam Goodvin on the Locker Room Report. Presented by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. That's next, right here on KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you to understand today's financial landscape and how to be positioned for the long term. Edward Jones can give you the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or online at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Coming up, post-game statistics, a check of the area scoreboard, post-game reaction with head coach Adam Goodvin, and our player of the game. The KFJB Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown, starts now.
Final score from Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. Marshalltown Bobcats 48-0 over the Jefferson Jayhawks. Welcome into the Locker Room Report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors, located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. With Dylan Doze, I'm Brandon Lewis, Zach Tomish, as well as our producer here on site, Todd Steinkamp, and our producer back at the KFJB studios, Jeff Brooks. A big victory here tonight as the Bobcats moved to 500 at a mark of 4-4, Dylan, and they did it all on the ground.
Yeah, they did. They did it all on the ground, and it wasn't just one person. Ace Holmes led the way with almost 180 yards on the ground, and he just had big gaping holes to run through. Tate Ring had a big 40-yard-plus run. Dalen did some Dalen things with a couple big runs. But across the board, Davis Ragland had a big run. We saw Jacob Gudith get a good run there in the fourth quarter. The Bobcats just could do whatever they wanted on the ground here today.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right, let's go to Zach with our stat recap from the night.
Yeah, for those of you that remember, the Bobcats had 354 yards in the first half. Well, total game, they ran the ball for 354 yards as well. They passed the ball for 92 yards, giving them a total of 446 yards of offense tonight. That's incredible for the Bobcats there. But the best stat of all is even when they had the second half or the second team come in and play defense, they still allowed -4 rushing yards for a total of -9 rushing yards allowed all night tonight by the Bobcats.
That's good defense.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We ran for 9 more yards than Jefferson. Good job.
48-0, our final score. I think they forced Bobcats defense tonight, forced 7 punts or so? 6 or 7?
7 punts, one of them was blocked, and then
Yep.
they also had 2 turnovers.
Yeah, the Bobcats did a really, really efficient job there in the first half. They scored on all but one of their drives to put up a ton of points here tonight, 48-0. Again, the final score. This is the Locker Room Report on KFJB-TV.
Save for your child to go to college. But medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
We're back in on the Locker Room Report, all brought to you here tonight by, of course, Wells Fargo Advisors. All right, let's take a look at our player of the game, all brought to you here as well by Calvin Rocket Bar and Grill in Marshalltown. Dylan, a lot of guys that could go to here tonight. Who's our player of the game?
A lot of me wants to go Ace Holmes. Ace Holmes was huge on the ground. Trayshawn Brooks caught 2 touchdown passes. Dalen did Dalen things. But when you do all the ways, the pros and the cons, I'm going to go with Ace Holmes with almost 180 yards on the ground.
Yeah, a nice night for Ace Holmes. He also had a couple of really, really good hits on the defensive side of things at his linebacker spot.
Yeah, there was a couple drives where the Jayhawks are starting to get a little bit going, and he shut it down with tackling, just sure tackling like Ace always does.
And being a part, I know Coach probably appreciates a shutout here tonight, 48-0. Again, our final score as the Bobcats win it. That's our player of the game, all brought to you by Calvin Rocket Bar and Grill. Each game, Calvin Rocket awards a free pizza to the Bobcat player of the game. Now time for our sweet play of the game, all presented by Lily Made Chocolates. Handmade, hand-dipped since 1939. Always open at lilymadechocolate.com. And we drew it up for you because, without the video here tonight. So if you can see, our play of the game was when Trayshawn Brooks went deep down the field. He caught a 52-yard play, went all the way into the end zone. He tried to drop it, but he did not. He was not successful in dropping it, and went all the way in for the touchdown. It was a truly incredible play by Trayshawn Brooks as Dalen Houston converted on that to his wide receiver for a long touchdown early on in this one. That is our Lily Mae sweet play of the game here tonight.
And sweet drawings of the game, Brandon Lewis.
Hey, when we come back, we'll catch up with head coach Adam Goodvin on our locker room report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown.
World, you are what you put on social media. If you don't believe me, go check out Calvin Rocket on Facebook. Not only will you find enticing pictures of delicious specials and favorite menu items, you'll also see a whole lot of Bobcat pride. From football to fine arts and everything in between, Calvin Rocket is always sharing what makes them proud to be Bobcats. Keep up to date with Calvin Rocket specials and events at facebook.com/Calvin Rocket Marshalltown. Share the pride, and don't forget to share the cheese curds.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
We're back in on the locker room report at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids, now joined by head coach Adam Goodvin. Our Top Crafters post-game interview with Coach. Top Crafters providing all of Central Iowa with quality countertops and service for decades. Over 400 yards of offense here tonight. Your defense pitches a shutout. Things couldn't probably have gone much better according to plan, right?
Yeah, it was a very fun night. We got a lot of people in, and I think from top to bottom, our kids played extremely hard and physical and tough. That's what you need if you want to give yourself a chance to win a football game. And there's some sloppiness there, and there is every single game. But proud of their effort when they they were able to focus up. Playing on a Thursday, everything was a little out of wax compared to our normal routine. So. Overall good night.
With a win, you get to 4-4 on the season with an opportunity to go above 500 next week to round out week number 9. I know that's probably a good feeling, right? I mean, putting it together here, 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, we want to keep things rolling. We've got a big week next week. I know Des Moines North's had some success this season so far, and our kids know that. It's no secret. So we're going to make sure we're rested up, and then we'll get the film tomorrow. Earlier, so
yeah. Our player of the game, Ace Holmes tonight, just a do-it-all guy. Over 100 yards rushing, couple touchdowns, and did a nice job out there at linebacker.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about Ace and the job that he does and the leadership that he brings to our program every single day. It's pretty special to see him have success. The success that he's had this season, and he's just a great kid. We're super happy he's on our team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake he made on that big 76-yard run, it felt like he ran into the tackle instead of away from the tackle. He would have been 80+ to the house, and he ran himself into the tackle.
Yes, absolutely. He's running hard though. No idea what's going through his head. He probably doesn't know either.
Yeah, he's going to have, because I was going to say, you go back to Tate Ring and you say, hey, I now have a longer touchdown or a longer rush than you, but Tate just looks back, yeah, but I scored.
Yeah.
And so he took himself out of being able to brag or anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
A big night where you got big plays. Do you feel like last year when your team was putting up 60 points a game, that kind of stuff towards the end, do you feel like the offense kind of firing on all cylinders now?
Yeah, I think that's something we really wanted to see tonight. Was we need our guys to have a lot of confidence heading into week 9, and we needed to see some of those big explosive plays. And like you said, Trey's big explosive play. He tried to drop that, but he didn't. He made that, and that's going to give him confidence mentally to go go out there and continue to execute.
One thing I wanted to ask you about is what we've seen up here is not just the blocking of the offensive line, but I've been really impressed by blocking on the perimeter from your wide receivers, really kind of catapulting those big plays. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, that's been a huge point of emphasis all season long and every single week because, if our wide receivers are only out there to catch passes, then we're not going to be very successful. And they realize that. They're smart kids. They're athletic, and they get themselves in the position to play a full play every single play. They're not taking plays and just playing half plays. Where you see that often, when receivers aren't getting it, they'll kind of dog it for half the play. So, credit to them. They're doing an excellent job.
And last question for you, Coach, here tonight. We saw your team only move up about one spot in the RPI. Obviously, a win like this here tonight, Roosevelt lost to Sioux City East. So you kind of look at it. You still got some control in your hands. You get a win next week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only thing we can control at this point. So that's our goal, and everything else will fall into place, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So.
All right, enjoy the win here, and getting ready for Des Moines North coming up next Friday night back home at Leonard Cole Field. That is your postgame visit with head coach Adam Goodvin, all brought to you by Top Crafters, providing all of Central Iowa with quality countertops and service for decades. And, oh, by the way, our Lily Mae Sweet play of the game, Coach was not real impressed with my drawing with that Trayshawn Brooks touchdown. That was a nice play to see.
I was going to joke around and say that looked like something my 1.5-year-old would draw.
No, he's too talented.
Wow.
He is too talented.
Hey, this is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
For an affordable way to update the look of your shower or vanity top? At Top Crafters, we offer more than just countertops. The possibilities are endless with custom and standard shower bases and panels. Wilson Art's innovative wall panel system and the Onyx collection both make custom showers easy. These systems are beautiful, durable, and made in the USA. Top Crafters also has a huge selection of laminate, solid surface, quartz, and granite. For your next project, stop into our showroom at 811 Iowa Avenue West in Marshalltown.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
You're looking live at Kingston Stadium. Get my inner Brent Musburger on there for you.
This is Pirate TV up here. We are rebels without a cause.
As you see Coach walking towards the Bobcat locker room here tonight at Kingston Stadium. 48-0 at final score. Let's get a scoreboard update tonight, all brought to you by Central State Bank.
Yeah, Muscatine took care of Davenport 41-13, and Sioux City East finally put Roosevelt out of their misery. Sioux City East puts up 60 on Roosevelt, beating them 60-28. And the Bears find themselves down 12-7 in the fourth.
That is a regional scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Locations in Ames, State Center, and West Des Moines. Is West Marshall tomorrow night at home against Albia to round out the regular season as they'll be headed off to the playoffs. And East Marshall's on the road at Applington Parkersburg. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
Whether it's time for a new ride or a new-to-you ride, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to help with new and used vehicle loans. Rates are as low as 2.24% for up to 60 months for new vehicles and used vehicles for 48 months. Go to their website, lennoxecu.com, for further details and membership eligibility, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
48-0. The final score is the Bobcats take down the Jayhawks at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. One more final time. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me. And Dylan, Des Moines North at home next week. We'll see how Des Moines North handles Ottumwa tomorrow night. But North, a team that can run the ball and hang with a lot of teams. They gave Roosevelt quite a bit of fits in their game.
Yeah, you're not going to see North throw the ball that much. It's going to be a ground and pound. But the Bobcats have a lot to play for next week, sitting at 4-4, a chance to go 5-4. And North is one of those teams in the RPI that Bobcats and North, the Polar Bears and the Cats, are just neck and neck.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right, so kickoff, as you can see, next week as at 7:30. Pregame show starts at 6:30 here on KFJB-TV. We'll have full video coverage from Leonard Cole Field. And last year, the Cats plunged the Polar Bears by a final score 63-32 in that matchup at Des Moines North. We'll see you in week number 9 from Leonard Cole Field in Marshalltown. I'm Brandon Lewis for Dylan Dose and Zach Tomish on stats, our producer on site, Todd Steinkamp, as well as Jeff Brooks, our producer, and getting us scoreboard updates back from the KFJB studios. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. We'll talk to you next Friday night right here on KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Football Today was brought to you by Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce, Assured Partners, Legends American Grill, Jensen Ford, Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, Your Marshalltown Edward Jones, Zach Wall, Capon and Brown, Zeno's of Marshalltown, Wayward Social, Wandering Creek, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Pence Appliance and TV, Wells Fargo Advisors, Marshalltown, Marshalltown Community College, The Embers, Applebee's in Marshalltown, Bruin Manufacturing, Laurel Diesel Services, Ken's Transmission, Raycom of Marshalltown, 5 Star Realty, Brown's Shoe Fit, Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, Central State Bank, Etherington Heating and Cooling, Lily May Chocolates, Marshalltown Company, Calvin Rocket Bar and Grill, Marshalltown Hy-Vee.
Wow!